Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream. Look how on time we were. To the second, we are on it this morning. And the bench boost is active, and my transfers have been made because Gyökeres and Stack were falling in price last night, and I could not run the risk. Well, I could, actually, to be fair. I got loads of money now, but I didn't want to lose 0.2 million. So I sucked it up, and I made my decisions last night, which does mean I have a lot more time this morning to basically help you, which is the main reason I'm here, right? Let me, I don't like the way my camera is right now. Am I too big now? No, that's okay. I think that looks better like that, doesn't it? There we go. Anyway, good morning. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for being here as always. You know that I appreciate it very much. I've already had 2 super chats, so I'll very briefly get through those before answering the rest of your questions. From Red Sox Kid 99. Okay, I've got your team. Wanting to bench boost. 1, stack to Xhaka. 2, stack Enzo. Sorry, stack minus Enzo plus Njai minus Weaver. What is happening? Oh, you want to do Red Sox? You've already confused me at this early stage. What are all these symbols? Stack to Enzo and Njai to Weaver. Is that what you're saying? No, I don't like that one. Stack to Enzo and Walter Marders to someone. Oh, I see what you're saying. Basically, you can do stack to Xhaka or you can upgrade stack to Enzo and fund that there in Njai to Weaver and Walter Marder to someone. No, I would just do stack to Xhaka, I think, in your position. Not great this week, given that he's playing Arsenal, but the narrative is there to score against his old club. Chris says, please read my message. I need your help. I don't know what your message was, Chris. Whoa! Shazam! Jesus. Just a small token of my appreciation to say thanks to you, Pickle, and the members chat for keeping me entertained this week. Been a test in a few days, so nice to be able to relax and watch your great content. Green arrows all around. My friend, you did not need to do that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Love hearts in the chat for Shazam. Shazam's been in a hospital recently with a few operations, so thank you, Shazam. I appreciate you very much, and you didn't need to do that, but I will pass that on to Pickle. I told her that you've been watching the videos as well. And yeah, massive shout out to the members chat as well. The members chat are unreal. Are you okay? Shazam just did a massive donation. Said thanks to me, you, and the members chat for keeping him entertained while he's been at the hospital.
Thank you so much.
Pickle's over there.
A speedy recovery.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shazam. What a wholesome way to start the stream.
Aw, so kind.
Very, very kind. Scuba Steve's, good morning, Raptor. Best of luck with the game week. What do you think of a punt on Marino? Short term, fine. The thing is, even though I expect Marino to start, there is always a world where Marino doesn't start, like Trossard, Martinelli once he's back. I think like this week, I'd expect Marino to start. I don't know about beyond that, though. My mids are Reinders, Sarr, Semenyo, Saka, and Njai. Like, if you could afford an Enzo Fernandez, I'd rather an Enzo Fernandez. There are many midfielders that I would choose instead of Marino, but just because it's not a pick that I would go for doesn't mean it's a bad pick, Scuba Steve. I think he's fine for this week. In fact, he'll probably do quite well against Sunderland. Shazam the man. Shazam the man, indeed. That's Shazam's new name, is Shazam the man. Bass, good to see you, my friend. How have you been? It says, hi, legend. Okay, you've got your current team. Any tips for transfers and captaincy? Love Mateta and any targets? Mateta captain's interesting, right? So at the moment, I've got my Vice armband. I think if I was to captain someone that wasn't Haaland, I think I would go Mateta or Enzo. So yeah, I like Mateta captaincy. Any tips for transfers? So you've got a good defence. Definitely don't need transfer there. Midfield's pretty solid as well. Front line, Walter Marder, Haaland, Mateta. No transfers. If you fancy a captaincy on someone that isn't Haaland, I definitely think Mateta is one of the better options for sure. I like that team a lot, Bass. Dashmate, good to see you, my friend. Says, long time no see. It has been a little while. Okay, I've got your team. As always, I just love that there's always differentials chucked in there. Cherky and Sesko. There's always someone a bit different. Just took out Reiners for Enzo. Am I cooked? No. I just brought in Enzo as well. We brought in Enzo together this week. Do you need to wildcard? Saka, Enzo, Haaland, Sesko, Cherky, and Burmo. No, not really. I think you can probably delay until after the international break. Yeah, I would wait a week. I think that's a nice team. You got some really nice picks in there. I think you should do okay, hopefully. Got a few similar picks in there. Timbo Slice has done Saka and Keane to Rice and Gabriel. Okay. Feel like Rice is better value. And I get the best defender in the game. Agree, or am I a buffoon? Well, I obviously don't love selling Saka, but to get Gabriel and Rice is really good value. As you say, I think absolutely it's fine. Certainly not a buffoon. In fact, I think it probably makes sense to get Gabriel. DB85 says, "Hi, Raptor. Hope you're well. I'm well, thank you. Senesi, Anderson, Rodon, and Van der Ven. Which two to start?" Senesi, Anderson, Rodon, and Van der Ven. I would probably say Anderson I would start. I just think Anderson's on the cusp of a big return. Senesi, Rodon's tough. Like I initially all week, I'm bench boosting, by the way, so it doesn't matter which order my bench is in, but I'd initially all week I'd had Rodon ahead of Senesi, but I've just switched them. I think maybe Senesi ahead of Rodon now. Just about. A bench headache, 3 from Timber, Munoz, Van der Ven, and a Chempong. Bench 3. 3 for... Oh, you start 3, I suppose. I would probably... We definitely don't bench Timber or Munoz, so it's Van der Ven or a Chempong. I would probably bench Van der Ven. I think so. Unless you don't think a Chempong starts, then obviously you can bench him. Ross, I've mistakenly released Gabriel from club instead of renewing the contract. Am I cooked? I did that with Semenyo in like game week 2. And then Semenyo went on a ridiculous run of scoring goals. So yeah, you're cooked. I don't think there's a way to reverse accidentally releasing someone. Yeah, I made the same mistake. Maybe I'll pass that on to club as a bit of feedback. Because I've done exactly the same thing before. Bench boost active, but I have stack 0 in the bank. Who do I go for? I think probably Dewsbury Hall is the standout for me at the same price. If not Dewsbury Hall, Xhaka's too expensive, Anderson's too expensive. Maybe Weaver, but I think Weaver's long-term minutes are a doubt considering that Veltman is now fit, so I would probably go Dewsbury Hall, just about. Morning, Ross. Would you do Bruno to Saka for a -4? No, definitely not. I have one free transfer, thinking Anderson to Sarr. This leaves me with a benching headache. Who should I bench out of Paquetá, Sarr, Semenyo, Njai, or Waltemada? I think given that it gives you that benching headache, I just wouldn't make the move. You're selling Anderson for Sarr. Great, Sarr's a good option. You can't bench Paquetá against Burnley. Semenyo, I wouldn't want to bench. And Jai's got a home fixture. And Waltemada's a penalty taken forward with an okay fixture as well. Yeah, I don't love that. If you are to make the move, I think it's probably Njai or Waltemada. Maybe Semenyo, actually. I certainly wouldn't bench Paquetá. It's the best fixture of the bunch. I probably just wouldn't make the move. But yeah, I think if you do, it's Semenyo, Njai, or Waltemada. Maybe Semenyo. I don't know. Start Kudus or Anderson or Reinders? That's a tough one. Maybe Anderson. I'd go Anderson, I think. Saka cap, only time to go against the robot. Pen share up. Yep, that's true. I don't mind Saka cap. I just think Sunderland are very good. Sunderland are very good, aren't they? Thank you for all of the love early on in the stream, by the way. The YouTube backend's changed, so I can't even see what I'm supposed to be seeing. If you haven't liked the stream already, 98 people have liked. There's over 1,200 people here, and not even 100 people have liked the stream. So if you are enjoying the stream, please do make sure to hit that like. Even if you're not enjoying it, just hit that like button. Why not? You know? Wait, as Ross, club question. Pulled Haaland and Salah this week and already had Saka on loan. I also own Mateta. The chat favours Mateta. Hard to get just Salah and bench him, but here we are. Opinion? How are you under budget on all of that? I would do the opposite of whatever you do in FPL. That's what I do. So whoever you own in FPL, maybe bench them. Because like if they do well if they do well, then your FPL team's happy. If they don't, then your club team's happy. It's kind of a bit of a win-lose situation, but it's like hedging your bets. Like last week, I started João Pedro and benched Mateta because I owned Mateta in FPL. That's probably not great advice, but you know. Where are we? Izzy Gaming, good morning, my wonderful little hippo. Hello. I got a cracking bench, but need to take out Kudus for a hit. What top 3 players would you recommend up to 9 million? Probably Enzo Fernandez, Bruno, or Mbeumo. I mean, Ismail Sarr is a good shout if you don't have him. So yeah, Sarr, Enzo, Bruno, and Mbeumo would be my midfielders of choice. Aaron, good to see you, my friend, says, hi, Ross. Thoughts on Dubravka, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson, Saka, and Mbeumo. Lovely team. Sarr, Semenyo, Xhaka, Haaland, Mateta. Bench of Roofs, Welbeck, Porro, Alderete. I mean, I would start Welbeck ahead of Xhaka, but you are a Sunderland fan, and the narrative is certainly there for him to score against Arsenal, so I get that. But yeah, it's a really nice team. I really like your midfield. Saka and Mbeumo, Sarr, Semenyo sounds great. It's basically mine, but Mbeumo over Njai, essentially. Good morning, boss. Would you bench Caicedo or Mbeumo? I'm going to be really annoying Connor and say neither. Like, you've surely got... Like, I'd rather bench Semenyo than Caicedo and Bermo. I'd rather bench Iliman and Jai. Like, you've surely got another midfielder you can bench. Because Bermo is an elite FPL option, and Caicedo's got the best fixture you can possibly get at the moment, really, other than maybe Burnley at home. So, yeah, I'm going to be annoying and say neither. If you were to have to bench one of them, you'd have to bench Caicedo, because Bermo's just a better FPL asset, I think. Nova Star says, hi, Ross. My team is Senesi, Mukiele, Gay, Gabriel, Timber. Great defense. Semenyo, Rice, Sarr, Caicedo, Enzo, Bowen, Haaland, Mateta. Who to bench, or should I bench boost? Thanks. Senesi, Mukiele, Gay, Gabriel, Timber. Okay. Ooh. Looks like a... Mukiele's not great on a bench boost, but it'll probably get Defcon. Yeah, you know what? You might be onto a bench boost there, because, like, who are you benching from those attackers? You're probably benching, like, Rice or Caicedo. Defensively, you're going to be benching one of Gay or Senesi. Yeah, I would be tempted to bench boost that. I would. I haven't seen your goalkeepers, of course, but yeah, I'd bench boost it probably. Fill one of Minter, Chris Richards, or Gakpo. Ooh. Ooh, that's a tough one. I might go Gakpo. I could see it being a bit of an open game. Yeah, I might go Gakpo there. 3.6 million in the bank. Do I captain Mateta for... Oh, 3.6 million in the world. Okay. Do I captain Mateta for the chase? I don't hate it, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't just do it for the chase. Like, 3.6 million is obviously not great. I'm 2.8 million right now, but is very tightly packed still, and one good week can be the change, and you don't need to differentially captain for the sake of it. All of that to say, I think Mateta's a good captaincy option, yeah. I don't think my things are rotating around, are they? Yeah, I don't think they were. One sec. There you go. I have to, like, reset them manually. Captaincy ranking top left. So I've got Haaland, Mateta, and Enzo as my top 3 captains. Then Saka, then Fernandes, then Gabriel, then Mbeumo, then Paquetá. But I think there are lots of viable captains this week for sure. Mark says, hi, Ross. Hello, Mark. Okay, I've got your team. Is it worth a -4 to remove Gordon? 7.8 million to spend. Love you, Egg. Thank you very much for the support, Mark. Would I remove Gordon? So who are you starting if you don't? Do you know what? I probably wouldn't, right? You've got Semenyo and Jai, Sarr, Paquetá, Haaland, Ward, Tamada, Mateta. So if you removed Gordon, you'd be benching someone like Ward, Tamada, or Njaya. No, I probably wouldn't. I'd bench him. You've even got 4 good defenders, haven't you? Gabriel, Gvardiol, Senesi, and Tarkovsky. Yeah. Unless you are planning to bench boost, no. If you wanted to bench boost, by the way, if you had it left, that is a bench boostable team, in which case, yeah, I'd remove Gordon, and I'd probably go for Enzo Fernandes. So Gordon to Enzo and bench boost, but if you're not bench boosting or you've already used it, I would leave it, because you've already got a good enough attack. Waltamada to Mateta this week. Love the content. Oh, that's tough. Thank you very much, by the way, Bradley. Would I sell Waltamada for for Mateta? I mean, yeah, probably. If it's for free. Definitely not for a hit, but if it's for free, yeah. Henning says, Raya, Foden, and DCL to Sanchez, Enzo, Mateta for free. Or roll and have 4 frees going into the international break to attack Liverpool fixtures. 2.6 million overall. Foden, I would expect to start this game, probably. Raya's absolutely great. DCL's not ideal, so I guess if you're having to start DCL, make the moves. If there's someone you could start instead of DCL, then maybe don't make them. It's tough. How much do you think Enzo, Mateta, and Sanchez will gain you? I mean, Enzo and Mateta, I think, are so good. Can you not afford... I assume you can't afford to just go Enzo and Mateta. Like, I would love to make the moves if you didn't have to do Raya to Sanchez, but I would be tempted to make the moves, you know. I would. You can always bring in Liverpool assets slowly after that as well. Khan, good to see my friend, says, how do I get rid of Reinders? 0.4 in the bank. So how much can you sell Reinders for? Is it 5.5 or 5.6? I'd be looking at Paquetá, Minter, Caicedo. Yeah, you could go Caicedo in your team. I mean, you don't really need to, again. Like, you've got Semenyo, Saka, and Jai, Enzo, JP, Mateta, Haaland. Unless you're bench boosting, you don't really need to. And even if you are bench boosting, I reckon Reinders starts. Yeah, I would probably leave it unless you're bench boosting. If you are bench boosting, I'd maybe go Paquetá or something fun like that, Caicedo. Lewis says bench boost, Dubravka, Xhaka, Longstaff, Goodmanson. Yeah, I would say so. Longstaff, Goodmanson, Dubravka, really nice. Xhaka's not got the best fixture, but good for DEFCON. And again, the narrative is there for him to score. I like it. Stevie Boy says, I have 7.6 million in the bank. Would you get him, JP or Thiago for Gyökeres? I have to play them every week. Free hit likely Gameweek 13. Also better to get in Calafiori or Timber, thanks. I prefer Timber still, although Calafiori is looking really good at the moment. I would be tempted by João Pedro for the short term if you can afford it. However, think about what you need to do in the future. If you are going to need that 1.4 million, like let's say you want to bring in Van Dijk in Gameweek 12 and you need the 1.4 million to do so, then just also 1.2 million that you'd get by going for Thiago instead, then absolutely do it. So I would go JP unless you need the money, basically, Stevie Boy. Bench one of Van de Ven, Burn or Senesi. Ooh, I would bench... Probably biased Man United fan here, but I would bench Van de Ven. Got Anderson and Tarkowski on my bench with Thiago and Dubravka. Okay. Do you think it'd be worth transferring one of the defenders to bench boost? Got one free transfer. Anderson and Tarkowski. No. I think they're good defenders. I'm assuming that is the Fulham Anderson. Can by the way, in every super chat that someone says Anderson, they spell Anderson wrong. This isn't me being like a pedantic grammar freak. Anderson, the defender, has an E. This one here. Anderson, the midfielder, has an O. So if you're going to say the midfielder, can you put the O? And if you're saying the defender, can you put the E? I'm assuming because you said defender there, you mean the Fulham defender. In which case, I think they're good. I know they're playing against each other, but it could easily be a 0-0 or one team could keep a clean sheet. Yeah, I'd leave it. Morning, Ross. And by the way, I would bench boost Sam. I like that bench boost. Dan says, morning, Ross. Bench boost this week. Benches Dubravka, Rodon, Longstaff, Van de Ven. Yep, absolutely. Also, which Liverpool assets are you eyeing up for their good fixture run? It will be Van Dijk and one of Szoboszlai or Gakpo at the moment I'm looking at the most. I think Van Dijk and Szoboszlai probably right now, but I do think Gakpo is still offering okay value as long as his minutes continue to stay good. And obviously, if one of Ekatike or Isak were to pick up a long-term injury, then I think the other one's very viable as well. Gyökeres and Semenyo for Saka and Welbeck, or Welbeck and Marino. I don't know that I would sell Semenyo. If you are going to, definitely Saka and Welbeck, I prefer. Anthony Gordon replacements for less than 7.5 million. I think it probably is Sarr and Enzo Fernandez still for me. Maybe Iliman Ndiaye if you've got both of them already. But yeah, Sarr and Enzo remain for me the two best sort of cheaper midfielders to bring in. Hello, Pedro Porro to James for a -4. I'm on wildcard Gameweek 13. Not for me. If it was for free, I would allow it. I wouldn't mind it. And to be honest, Wolves and Burnley, the next two, are very high upside, but I just wouldn't take a hit for that, personally. Lauren, good morning, Ross. Good morning, Lauren. I'm bench boosting, stuck between Saka and Florentino or Rice and Enzo. Saka and Florentino or Rice and Enzo. I think I'd have to say Rice and Enzo. I would, because Saka's better than Rice, but Enzo is massively better than Florentino. I guess it also depends on squad structure. Like, after this week, would you rather just have a cheap midfielder like Florentino sat there, or do you enjoy having the choice between players? Because I assume moving forward, this will give you more benching headaches going for Rice and Enzo. All of that to say, Lauren, I think I would go probably Rice and Enzo myself. Bjork Hanar 5463 says, hello, Ross. My team is... Okay, I've got your team. I have one free transfer, and what should I do? Is it a good bench boost? Yeah, goalkeeper's good. 5 defenders are really nice for a bench boost. Attackers are pretty good, other than Gyökeres and Stack. You've got a very similar team to what I've got, especially in terms of the attack. So you've got a couple of options here. You could bench boost just with Stack and just hope that he does okay. And by the way, Stack could get okay minutes. Or you do a -4 hit like I did and sell Gyökeres and Stack. So your two options, I think, are Stack to another cheap midfielder like Dewsbury Hall. Or you can do Gyökeres and Stack to Sarr and a forward. Completely up to you which way you want to play it. But yes, I would probably lean towards making at least one transfer and bench boosting. MN Chuckster, good to see you, my friend, says, hi, Ross and Pickle. 3 free transfers. What do you think about Gyökeres and Burn to Mateta and James and rolling 1 free transfer? I don't mind that. I also don't mind keeping Burn, by the way, but Mateta and James, very nice transfers, very high upside. Also, who to start? Donnarumma versus Dubravka and Caicedo versus Thiago. Took your advice last week and it ended horribly. I'm sorry. That doesn't sound overly surprising. I do often give a bad advice. I sometimes give good advice as well, but it's a bit hit and miss. Sorry. Anyway, Gyökeres and Burns, Mateta and James, I like. Donnarumma versus Dubravka. I would start Dubravka. Caicedo versus Thiago. I mean, Caicedo's got a much better fixture, but Thiago is the penalty taker. I still think I'd start Caicedo personally. Yeah, and hopefully you do have a better game week. That would be nice. Discover with Sim says, good morning, egg hand pink waving. I assume that was meant to be an emoji, but it's just typed it all out. That's funny. Anyway, sorry. Captain 1, Munoz, Sar, Enzo, JP. Loving all the content. Make sure you're looking after yourself. Please plug your book too for the readers. It's great. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do have a book if you want to read it. It's just called The Mind Game FPL. If you want to read and nerd out about FPL, then by all means do it. You can find it on Amazon. Anyway, your question. Munoz, Sar, Enzo, JP. I'd probably captain one of Enzo or JP. I'd attack that Wolves fixture. I still think Enzo's a better captain than JP, but I don't own JP, so maybe I'm biased against him. But yeah, I certainly think it'll be one of the Chelsea boys. Thank you for the support as always, my friend. Aaron says, hey man, today, Cunha or Sar / Senesi or Van der Ven? I wouldn't want to bench Cunha or Sar. I've got a feeling Cunha does quite well. Cunha or Sar, Senesi or Van der Ven? Yeah, if I had to bench one of Cunha or Sar, I'd bench Cunha, but I would not enjoy doing so. Senesi or Van der Ven, I think I'd start Senesi. Maybe if you're benching Cunha, you start Van der Ven, though, just to sort of go all of your eggs in one basket. Mr. Mason says, hi Ross, working the night shift in CA. The only thing getting me through it, Geo Raptor and FPL Raptor. Thank you very much, Mr. Mason. I appreciate that. Love the content. Good luck this week. Thank you very much, my friend, and thank you for the support. Also, for those that have been enjoying the Geo Raptor content, which won't be everyone, I've got a video going live at 11:15 today, which is as the stream ends. So when my live stream ends, I'll send you the link to the YouTube video and you can go support me if you fancy it. It'll give you something to watch before the football starts. Would you make one transfer to make the bench boost viable? Yeah. I mean, not if it's just for the bench boost, but like I made 2 transfers this week, technically to make the bench boost viable, but they were also moves that I wanted to make anyway. So yeah. Hi Ross, who is the most instinctive manager between you, Harry and Oscar, and who uses data the most to make decisions? I would say, out of myself, Harry and Focal, I'm the most instinctive, and Focal uses data the most. Harry just uses common sense and football knowledge, I would say, for Harry. Doesn't really use data as much as a lot of other people. Yeah, I would say I'm more like vibes based. I know I use a lot of data, but I also do really weird stuff, like buying Kroopy to bench boost this week. Like, there's not many people that make weird decisions like I do. So, yeah, I'd say that's probably my best explanation of it. Should I bring in a Chelsea defender for a bench boost? Can only afford Mukiele to Gusto? No, then I wouldn't. It's not worth going for Gusto. Not only is he not very good, but also he's not nailed on to start every game. So no, not for me. There are plenty of other defenders that you can go for that are better long-term picks. I really don't think you should sacrifice your long-term team for the bench boost. This is why I brought in Kroopy this week. I had the money to go and get Thiago or Welbeck because it would have made a better bench boost. But I think you also have to think about your long-term team. Like, the bench boost is only 1 week, you know? Martin says, thanks for Rice as a fun punt last week. Good luck with the bench boost. You're more than welcome, and thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you to all of the wonderful members, by the way. I appreciate you so much. This has definitely been the best year ever for sort of the community that we've built and the members interacting. It's just been lovely to see. So thank you if you are a member. It means the world to me. Thor, Family Feud ended up 75-73 last game week. The wife finally had a good week. This game week will be crucial with my wife's triple Brighton against my triple Palace. Triple Brighton? I'm trying to think which 3 Brighton you'd have. Maybe Welbeck, Minter, and like Van Hecker or something, or Verbruggen. Triple Palace, triple Brighton's crazy. I rarely see people with any Brighton, so yeah, that's nice. Nice little differential. Can you imagine? Are you going to watch that game together? Watching that game together would be crazy. Nitin says, my defence is Gabriel, Timber, Burn, Mukiele. Should I do Burn to James? Lots of people looking at buying Reece James this week. I get it. His data has been ridiculous. He's got Wolves in, but you know what? I don't mind it at all. 0.4 in the bank, future plans, Timber to Crystal Palace defence, Vicario to Allison. Love your content, Ross. Thank you so much. Do you know what? If you've got the money in the bank and the free transfers to go and get Reece James, I don't hate it. Do I know that he starts every game? I mean, he has recently, so maybe he will, but we'll see. Gyökeres to who and Stack to Sarr? So I did something very similar. Yeah, I'm going to bench boost this week, I think. It depends how, like, what your squad structure is and what you want to achieve. Like, I had all the money to go up to a 7.3 million player where I've got Kroopy, but I just didn't want that in the long term. Like, I wanted a structure where my 8th attacker was almost a dead spot. Now, I like Kroopy because if Evan Nilsson does get injured again, Kroopy's minutes will be excellent, so he becomes a viable option. So it's not a complete dead spot, but I just didn't want to have 8 really good attackers. I didn't think I needed it after the bench boost. So I've sacrificed the bench boost slightly for Kroopy, but I think Thiago, Welbeck, I still think Walter-Mada's fine. João Pedro's good. Obviously, Mateta if you don't have Mateta. There are various ways that you can approach that spot, but yeah, I just chose to go all the way down. Aiden says, hi Ross, 4 free transfers with 1 million in the bank. Bench boost 11. What are your thoughts? So you got Dubravka, Longstaff, Senesi, Foster, cool. Foster, I don't know if he'll definitely start. Fleming's playing well. Apparently he was ill, but if not, Foster's great. Pope, Gabriel, Tim, it's a great team, actually. I don't see a huge need for you to make any moves. I suppose you could look at making a double move, which involves replacing Foster just in case. But the thing is, if Foster starts, he's great. And I don't know where you would free up the money here, really, with that team. I know it's crazy to say because you're on a bench boost and you've got 4 free transfers, but I'd be tempted to roll Aiden. That's a great team. What a great position to be in, by the way. Fair play. Balu Doctor says, can you suggest a team for free hit? I've activated to get benefit of top players going against each other. Please suggest a free hit team. I would definitely have triple Chelsea. So I would have something like Reece James, Enzo, João Pedro. I would almost definitely have Sarr and Mateta. I would probably have double or triple Arsenal defence. So I'd probably have Gabriel. I would probably have like Gabriel, Timber, and Munoz as a back 3. Who else would I have on a free hit? I'd have Paquetá and or Bowen. That should be most of your team there. If you've just rewind if I said it too fast, but if you've just followed that rough, that should be most of your team, and then you can go from there. What to do with Walter-Mada, 0.9 in the bank? Love you, Ross. I would keep Walter-Mada, my friend. I don't think you need to panic on Walter-Mada. 1 early sub isn't enough for me to worry too much. Eze to Marino, Esteve to Gabriel for the bench boost. Yeah, if you've not got Gabriel, just get Gabriel in. I still don't know about Marino as a long-term pick, but I like Gabriel. Hi, Ross. Bench 1 of Saka, Enzo, Sarr, Minter, João Pedro, and Walter-Mada. It's probably Minter of those options, or Walter-Mada. Probably Minter. Sam says 80 points behind in my mini-league. JP, EF, or EH cap. If you're 80 points behind and your mini-league leader is good at FPL, you probably, even this early, do want to start gaining on them. I still think João Pedro and Enzo Fernandez are great captaincy options. So if you think they'll go Erling Haaland, differentiate. By the way, if you think they won't go Haaland, then maybe just go for Haaland, right? Just think what your mini-league leader might do that's slightly different. Tossing up Anderson or Senesi while having Njaya. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you've got Njaya, so you're wondering, should you start Senesi? Yeah, I don't mind that. I do think Senesi versus Anderson is pretty close, in all fairness. Saptar says, hi Ross, currently at 9 million overall rank. Okay, tough start. Any thoughts on selling Haaland, bringing in Bowen/JP in, captain Bruno? I don't know that you need to sell Haaland, but yeah, start differentiating with captaincy and transfers for sure. I mean, if the way that you want to do that is selling Haaland, fine. But realistically, selling Haaland is probably only going to make you fall lower unless you really nail it. So I would just differentiate with captain, and your other transfers outside of Haaland, I would differentiate there as well. Thiago or Welbeck for the next 2 game weeks only. Thanks, Ross. Next 2 only, probably Welbeck. Yeah, Welbeck's in a nice run of form. Like, capitalise on that. And I'm not saying Thiago's playing badly, but Welbeck is on it. So until Welbeck drops off, he's probably the better one to go for. Petrovic or Dubravka, have Paquetá. Maybe Petrovic then. Maybe Petrovic. I think Dubravka in isolation is better. But yeah, if you've got Paquetá and you want to put all your eggs in that basket, maybe Petrovic. Differential captain today: Enzo, Bowen, or Paquetá. I like Enzo a lot, but Bowen and Paquetá against Burnley at home are great. I think I'm going to just be really annoying W stream and say trust yourself there. All three are great captaincy options. If you want my personal preference, I would lean Enzo Fernandez. DCL to Thiago. DCL and stack to Gay and Enzo -4 to roll. I really like Enzo. I mean, I'm biased because I've just done exactly pretty much the same moves, but I would lean towards the Enzo one. I think Enzo across the next couple of weeks could go massive. Start Gakpo or Walter-Mada. I would go Walter-Mada just about there. Red Sox Kid says bench boost 0.3 in the bank. Stack for Weaver, Dewsbury Hall or Xhaka. I think I like Xhaka a lot. Dewsbury Hall, Xhaka, Weaver in that order. I think Dewsbury Hall is a class option at 4.9 million. Doriano says, hello, would you bench boost this to Bravka, Anderson, Rodon, Xhaka? Yes. Sam says, start Xhaka, Mukiele or Richards. I'd probably go Chris Richards there, I think. Yeah, Richards. Are you making a transfer or are you actually going to bench boost with Kroupy? Otherwise, that's a horrid bench. I just brought Kroupy in. So, how do you feel about that? I understand it because I'm a content creator, but people feel that, get really angry about what I do with my team. It's very strange. You know? Also, you kind of need to follow the content to understand why, but let me explain why. There's no point me just saying you need to follow to understand why. I've now got 2.7 million in the bank, right? I could have brought in for Kroupy, or instead of Kroupy, I could have gone for, everyone was like, just go for Welbeck, right? And by the way, I think Welbeck's a great option. That then leaves me 0.8 million in the bank. So when Game Week 12 and 13 swing around, how do I get Van Dijk? Can't do it. How do I get Bruno or Mbermo if they continue to do well? Can't do it. Where do I go from here? It's really difficult to get a lot of the assets I want. Sarr and Njai going off to AFCON, I'm going to need to replace them. I'm just not looking at having much money. So, and also, let me actually put him back in. I don't need all of these players. I can only start 7 of them every week. This would make my cheapest players Njai and Welbeck. The money's just too spread out in this setup. So, I went for Kroupy. Now, I don't expect Kroupy to start. People are like, you do know that Evan Nilsson... Yeah, I know, I don't expect Kroupy to start at all. But would it not be really silly to bring in Welbeck just for a bench boost when I think that sacrifices my team in the long term? So I had a few ways that I could do this. I could sacrifice the bench boost, which I've done here, and just bring in Kroupy and hope that he gets 1 or 2 points. He could score off the bench. By the way, Kroupy could start. I just don't expect him to. The other way I could do it is... What was I thinking? I could bring in an... I've lost my train of thought here. I could bring in Kroupy and not bench boost. So I could just, by the way, cancel my bench boost today, play it later when I've got free transfers to upgrade. Or I just bring in a more expensive attacker, have less money in the bank moving forward, and then I'm in a bit more of a pickle in future game weeks. So that was kind of the thought process. Will Stack start? I've got no idea. Probably, knowing that I've sold him. Hope that makes sense. Pickle just said pickle. Yeah, I said I'm in a pickle. Are your picks final? Yeah, basically. Anyway, play your own game. James from Planet FPL says this all the time. So, play your own game. I almost didn't bring in Kroupy last night because the comments were so ridiculous yesterday. How stupid would that have been for me to change what I want to do with my team because the comments told me that I shouldn't do it? It makes no sense. So I've stuck to my own plan and I'm happy with it. I do think if Thiago or Welbeck had a much better fixture this week, because people were saying just go for Thiago or Welbeck. Thiago's got Newcastle, who are the second best defence in the league for XG, and Welbeck's got Crystal Palace. So it's not like I've got another option. If Thiago had Burnley at home this week, I would have found it very difficult to go against that. Have you bench boosted? The bench boost is active. Did I not title my thing bench boost active? I did. Yeah. This is FPL's fault for not making it obvious, but this blue line around my bench here, that means the bench boost is active. Yeah, remember, back your gut. Exactly, Pickle. Pickle active in my YouTube chat. What's going on here? Right, where was I? Start Anthony versus West Ham or Van der Ven. I'd go Anthony. Have some fun. Gyökeres, Gordon, Kudus for Mateta, Saka, and Mbeumo. Oh, I like that. Mateta, Mbeumo, Enzo, or any other mids you like for free transfers. I quite like... If you can get Mateta, Saka, and Mbeumo. I think I'd go for that first option. Now, Enzo over Saka is interesting because it gives you a lot of money in the bank. So I would go Mateta, Saka, and Mbeumo, unless going for Enzo instead, like I said with my own team, frees up loads of money for you to do crazy stuff in the future. Would you start a Chempong if you had him? Probably, yeah. Hi, Ross. Rice or Enzo? Who would you pick? I picked Enzo. So I had the ability to get Rice, but I just think Enzo's a slightly better pick for me. Hi, Ross. If you had Enzo, would you have done stack to Mbeumo? Yeah. I was very tempted, by the way. I could have bought Mbeumo, but again, same issue if I wouldn't have had much money to work with. So I think Mbeumo's a great FPL asset. Start Rodon, Senesi, Van der Ven. I think Senesi is my new opinion, just about. Senesi Rodon's very close. And you could go Van der Ven. But I would go probably Senesi. Khan says, love the content as always. Thank you very much. And you said thank you so much. Maybe I'll roll and make 3 transfers after the break. I quite like that. If you can go into Game Week 12 after the break, when Liverpool's fixtures improve, City's fixtures are starting to improve, with 3 or 4 free transfers, you're in a great position. Long-term plan, Van Dijk in, and remove 1 forward and Reinders. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah, good plan. Good plan and best of luck, my friend. Good morning. Why Enzo over Caicedo or Neto? Enzo's just great. I think Enzo's been so unfortunate not to return more recently. 0.65 XGI, 0.56. I feel very fortunate that he didn't return in either of these games, especially when you watch them. And his data this season is super strong. I think he's just been playing at a very, very high level. I think he's a great FPL asset. Also, he might still be on penalties in the absence of Palmer. Bench boost this week of Dubravka, Rodon, Xhaka, Van Dijk. Xhaka and Van Dijk's fixture's not ideal, but my Game Week 12 my best bench for a while, and it's after the international break. Should I play it now? I thought the same, by the way. My bench arguably does look marginally, you could say, better in 12. Like, it's very close. But it is after an international break, and if all of your players are fit and available now, I would just go for it. Like, let me show you what's been a bit annoying. Is my bench hasn't looked great in any week, right? Because if my bench had looked great in any week, I would, of course, play the... Sorry, spit everywhere. I would have, of course, played the bench boost, right? So if I ever felt like my bench looked really good, I would have bench boost. So far this season, my bench scores, let me read them out because they're sickening. 9, 10, 14, 7, 17, 13, 8, 17, 15, 7. So on 2 occasions this season, I've got 17. On 5 occasions, no, 6 occasions, I've had over 10. My lowest bench score so far this season is 7. I would have been better off just bench boosting in any week so far. And in a lot of these weeks, I didn't even have all of my bench players playing. It's just like a random haul from like a 13-pointer from Rodon. So, if my bench scores less than 7 points this week, it's actually gross. Because this is the week where I've decided to play it. But I guess what I'm saying is, you can wait for the perfect week for a bench boost. But I can promise you, these aren't the weeks where it looked like the perfect week for me. In fact, in Game Week 8, I don't think I had a full bench. Game Week 9, I almost definitely didn't have a full playing bench. I don't think I did in 5 either. We can even look at them. Yeah, in Game Week 9, I got a 0 from Anderson and a 0 from Stack, but a 13 from Rodon. That was a 15-point bench boost. Okay, Game Week 8, my whole team did play. Dubravka 9-pointer was the killer. What was it like in 5? Yeah, I had Mark Guiu. 0 minutes from Mark Guiu. Estev 4, Reinders 9, Dubravka 4. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you just got to get a bit lucky. So people are saying, like, you've got Krupi on your bench. If I'd have bench boosted with Mark Guiu, who got 0 minutes in Game Week 5, that would have got me a 17-point bench boost. So, FPL is a game of luck, you know? You put in Anderson and you predict Fulham to lose 2-1. I can't predict the future, and I'm not going to sell a player just because I don't expect them to get a clean sheet. You know? I've also got Iliman and Jai. So, that's crazy, isn't it? Honestly, when I'm doing those predictions, it's just a bit of fun. It's just me just sort of putting in some stuff. Stack to Xhaka. 0.1 million short on Sar. That's painful. Stack. I like Xhaka, yeah. I have no issue with Xhaka. Hassan says, want to go differential captain against Haaland, Mateta or Enzo and why? Thanks, Raptor. That's very tough. I think Mateta is in a better run of form. He's definitely on penalties. Minutes are great. He's got a home fixture. Enzo's got the better fixture, and he's a midfielder. We don't know 100% that he takes the penalty ahead of João Pedro. It's close. It's close for sure. I would just about lean towards Mateta. Bench boost is better next week, trust me. Yeah, you could certainly make an argument for that. You'd have Dubravka with Chelsea at home. You have Leeds with Villa at home. And then obviously Krupi with West Ham at home. So there's a lot more home fixtures. But the thing is, with home fixtures, with Gameweek 12, is that it's post-international break. So I could have loads of home fixtures, but if I pick up injuries, I just want to get it done. I don't want to make transfers for the bench boost. This week, it looks like all 15 players are fit. I'm just going to get it done. I've committed. As I just said, you just got to get lucky. It's nothing to do with making good decisions to your bench boost. I'm playing a 4-4-2, but it seems weak. What do you think? It seems weak because we are just so predisposed to wanting to play a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3. But a 4-4-2 would have worked very well this season. I think you're fine. Foden captain 3 weeks running. Very nice. Rank 800k, Upper City. Good luck. Is Sar not slightly worrying? There's a small chance Sar misses out, but I don't think he will. Is everyone underestimating Brighton this week? They always seem to make it close in the derby. I don't think Crystal Palace will roll them over. I've got them winning 2-1. But the thing is with Palace, their points are often concentrated over a very small period. Over a very small amount of players, I should say. So, if Palace win 2-1, you could say there's a very good chance Munoz, Sarr, and Mateta are involved in those. I missed what changes you made. I brought in Enzo and Krupi. And to address the comments for the people that have just joined, I don't think Krupi's a good pick. I just wanted to take money out of that spot. I can't wait for this week to be over so that I stop getting the comments of, you do realise Krupi's not going to start. Yes, I'm aware. I'll take the 1 point and move on with it. Thoughts on Bench Boost 1 next season? Absolutely 100%. I'm bench boosting in Game Week 1. Or at least Game Week 2 or 3. I'm getting the bench boost done a lot earlier. This has been painful. Every week thinking, could I bench boost? No, I picked up an injury. Can't bench boost here because this player's lost their place. Yeah, I'm just getting the bench boost done ASAP. Any chance we get team news for Spurs? I don't know anyone that will give us early Spurs team news, but we may do on Twitter. You never know. Krupi goal off the bench. That would be the dream. It would be an emotional roller coaster. I'd be sad that Krupi wasn't starting. Then he comes on and scores. I would love, even if it's 2 points would be nice. 1 point is a bit sad, but that's kind of what I'm expecting right now. I expect Evan Nilsson to start, Krupi to get 25 mins, 20 mins off the bench. But yeah, he could absolutely do damage against Villa in the final 20 minutes. Bench one of Eze, Semenyo, Sarr, Mbeumo, and Jaya Watermada. Well, that's a tough one. Probably, in all fairness, might be Eze or Semenyo. No, probably Njai. Fulham have a very good defence, I think. His underlying data has not been great. Njai or Watermada, probably. I mean, Eze and Semenyo aren't. The only two that I wouldn't bench is Sarr and Mbeumo. I think it's a pretty close call between Eze, Semenyo, Njai, and Watermada. The one thing on Eze and Semenyo is that they're not penalty takers, or Semenyo is not definitely a penalty taker. Njai and Watermada are definitely on pens, so maybe you start the penalty takers. Shivers says Gabriel instead of Haaland this week as captain. Yeah, I don't mind it. Gabriel's probably going to get a clean sheet, and he'll probably have the chance to get an attacking return, and he might get DEFCON, especially with the way that Sunderland plays. So, yeah, I could see Gabriel being a good captain once again. My rank is 295k, wildcard next week, 1 week punt. I would just roll the transfer unless your team really needs it. But if you want a 1 week punt, you're probably looking at a Chelsea attacker. Or maybe a West Ham attacker. Like Paquetá, Enzo, João Pedro, Bowen. Something like that. 14.7 million, 2 mids. Who would you pick for the next game week? 14.7. Probably Enzo and Saar. Yeah, I think that works for price. Svine has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much. Chris says, hello, Ross. Hello, Chris. 1. Bench 1 of Mbermo, Caicedo, Enzo, Semenyo, Saar, Mateta, Haaland, JP. Currently on Semenyo. Yeah, I think it's Semenyo or Caicedo. But yeah, I can understand Semenyo. I wouldn't put you off of that. But yeah, definitely Semenyo or Caicedo. 2. 1 free transfer and 1.4 million in the bank. Richards to Munoz or roll and do Richards to Van Dijk next week. I do love Munoz. It's tough because I'm sort of saving that transfer to go and get Van Dijk. I probably would wait. You can still always buy Munoz, by the way. But give yourself the international break to think about it. So I would roll, but not definitely to get Van Dijk. You could still make the Munoz transfer. Like, it's not like this is the banker fixture against Brighton, for example. I think Munoz is still a good transfer next week as well. Bart Verbruggen. I'm sure that is the Verbruggen, just checking into the stream. Hello, Ross. Should I bench boost with Dubravka, Tarko, Mukiele, and Stack? Stack could be Pino for a -4 because I don't have any Palace players. Tarkovsky and Dubravka, Mukiele and Stack on a bench boost. Stack for a -4 out. You still got Mukiele. Maybe just about. Yeah, I don't know about Pino. Like, I expect Pino to start, but I just don't know about him as a long-term asset. Yeah, maybe just about, but I don't think that's a clear-cut one. I think you could also just leave it. No, do you know what? I'd maybe leave it and just not bench boost. Maybe. Probably. When should I consider a -8? On a -4 and I want Enzo. If you want Enzo, just buy Enzo. Like I said, I think we massively overemphasize or sensationalize how bad a hit is. As a one-off, a hit is just a 4-point loss. Like, it'll be fine. Do you think Krupi will actually get minutes this week? Not many. 20, 30? I think 25 mins would be a good showing. Pranavan says, hi Ross, thoughts, free funds to do Saka to Rice or Watermarder to Krupi/Thiago to get Stack/Reinders to Enzo and Burmo and upgrade the defense. Love GeoRap. Thank you very much, my friend. Do I prefer Saka to Rice or Watermarder to Krupi? Probably Saka to Rice is the better way to free up money. But do you need to do that this week? I suppose getting Stack and Reinders to Enzo and Burmo. I don't love selling Saka, but I think Saka to Rice is a better transfer than Watermarder to Krupi. So I would go Saka to Rice if you want to free up the funds to do so. Did you just say you love GeoRaptor? I didn't, but obviously I do. GeoRaptor is actually my YouTube crush. So there's that. Let me do a cheeky plug. There is, at 11:15, there is a video going live on my new YouTube channel. So, if you're not subscribed and after my deadline stream you want something to watch, there's loads of content on there, by the way. Feel free to go subscribe. I would really appreciate it. This is my channel. We're approaching 3,000 subscribers. I would love to hit 3,000 subscribers. Is Thiago still a good buy? Yes, absolutely. My issue with buying Thiago wasn't like, I still think I was very close anyway, but let me bring to your attention the issue that I had. I wanted Thiago, and in particular, I was really excited for Game Week 13, but I actually think Game Week 13 is the best week to free hit. And that's when he's got Burnley at home. If you remove the Burnley at home game, Thiago's next 4 games is Newcastle, Brighton, Arsenal, Spurs, 3 of the 4 being away. I can just own Thiago for his best fixture on the free hit. I'm not saying I definitely will. And obviously after that, he's then got Leeds, Wolves, Bournemouth, Spurs. He's got Sunderland in there, then Forest at home. Like, there are some okay fixtures in there. However, his best fixture in the next 5 or 6 is the one that I can own him for anyway. Georaptor, I never thought I would see the day. Neither did I, my friend. Neither did I. I am going to do another shout out. And what I'm going to do is, let me do that. Let me bring this across. So, many of you will know FPL Pickle. FPL Pickle is sat in the living room over there. Hello, FPL Pickle. Can't hear me. It's her birthday tomorrow. She's been creating content on YouTube now all season, and it's genuinely high-quality content. She finished in the top 2K 2 years in a row. Last season was like 511th. And yeah, she makes content on YouTube all the time.
So Gameweek 10 was a little bit of a roller coaster for
it's
me.
It's genuinely good quality content. So I'm going to copy her channel into the chat. It would be massive if you could please subscribe. It's FPL content. Fantastic FPL content. And it's her birthday tomorrow. I think she's going to do a birthday stream tomorrow as well. But she's really trying to hit 8,000 subscribers before Christmas. It would be massive. So please, there's over 2,200 people watching. Please make sure you subscribe to her. She's fantastic. And also something a bit different as well. Is that your wife? My girlfriend. We do live together. Yeah, she's over there in the living room. But yeah, it's her birthday tomorrow. So as a birthday present to her, it would mean a lot to me and to her if you could subscribe. Yeah, she wants to hit 8,000. I mean, technically, if everyone subscribed that was watching now, she'd hit 8,000. But you know, anyway, I'll leave it in the chat. If you want to see her channel, I've spammed it in the chat about 100 times. Thank you, everyone that just subscribed. I appreciate it. Right, anyway, let's get back to FPL chat. Hi, Ross. I'm on bench boost this week. Is Kudos to Rice and Gyökeres to Mateta worth it for a -4? Kudos to Rice and Gyökeres to Mateta. Yes, I'd absolutely slap that hit. Absolutely, Thomas. Sell Waltemada Saka for Mateta in Burmo. No. Not for me. Hello, Ross. Shorts to a wedding or pants to a picnic? Gotta be pants to a picnic. Hi, Ross. Since you love FPL and psychology, are you good at playing poker, which also requires a lot of psychology? I've never really played much poker. I don't really gamble or anything like that. I think I probably would be. I think I could bluff quite well. I think I can read people quite well. But yeah, I've never really played it. So as of right now, I would have to say no, I'm not good. Triple captain on Semenyo. Love Georaptor too, by the way. Thank you very much, Bubble Grub. Triple captain Semenyo. I think captaining Semenyo is a risk. I don't know if I would go triple captain. Potentially. What about Soboslai? Is he going under the radar? Soboslai is an interesting one. I think he's becoming over the radar. Like, everyone's talking about Soboslai. He's like the most spoken about player this week, it seems. He's playing really well. Underlying data is not great, 0.24 XGI. But in a couple of the games recently, he's had much better data. His DEFCON is really good, by the way. His DEFCON is exactly 12 per 90. So good DEFCON, really good minutes, on set pieces, okay data, obviously a fantastic footballer as well. There's a lot to like about Soboslai, and we know about those fixtures coming up, right? Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds. This run of 4 games here is lovely. So I think Soboslai is correctly spoken about. He's a good asset. I wouldn't get carried away. Certainly a player that I'm looking at maybe bringing in game week 13 or 14 for sure. Hey Raptor, is Juve worth starting over Kudos? Cheers. Yeah, I would start Juve over Kudos. Hey Ross, would you buy Munoz for Tarkovsky this week? If you've got the free transfer and the money to do so, yes. His interchanging of positions is the only thing putting me off. I agree, Sim. Like, I prefer him at centre mid rather than right back. But the thing is, when he plays right back, he's very good for DEFCON, and he still takes set pieces. So even when he plays right back, I don't think... Like, you think about Trent in the past. I know Trent's a defender and gets the clean sheet points, but you would never say, oh, Trent's not attacking. Like, Soboslai still gets forward a lot. Thank you to everyone that subscribed to Miss Pickle. Should we see how many she gained? She gained a good amount of subscribers. Thank you for that. I'll put her channel in the chat again for anyone that missed it, if you want to go subscribe. I'll probably be on the live stream with her tomorrow, by the way. She's going to do a deadline stream, not a deadline stream, she's going to do a birthday stream, and I'll probably be there with her because she's never streamed before. So if you want to see an extra bit of content with me as well, make sure to subscribe to her channel. Why are Richards ahead of Senesi and Rodon? I'm on bench boost, it doesn't matter. But he's playing at home. Home fixture. Are you guys dating? Yes, that's my girlfriend. We've been dating for over 2 years. Soberslai's data looks decent. His data doesn't look decent particularly. Yeah, 0.24 is not that good. Are you a December baby? I'm a March baby. I was born on March the 29th. That is so awesome that you both have your own FPL channels. Thank you. Is it worth bringing in Saar this week? Yeah, I like Saar. Just be aware. I don't think Saar plays more than 75 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if Saar gets subbed off in like 60th minute. I know that's not happened much, but apparently he's feeling tightness in his hamstring. So I don't think Saar is like the best option for this week. I certainly think you could wait. Is Paquetá a good shout for this week? Yeah, I like the West Ham attackers a lot. Like, not beyond this week, but this week they are great. Is Kudus available or unfit? Thomas Frank said that he was touch and go. Whatever that means, but I don't know. We don't have a specific update on Kudus, or at least a reliable update. I'm going for a 3-4-3. Yeah, fair. I've been in a 3-4-3 all season. I've only just switched back. Well, actually, that's a lie. Since my wildcard, but I've switched back to a 3-5-2. I've just pretty much deaded that third spot with Kroopy. But yeah, I don't expect Kroopy to start. Even if Kroopy starts, by the way, 74, 68, 61. Why did you go Kroopy over Guiu? Because I don't think it matters how many injuries Chelsea get. Guiu's not going to get good minutes. Whereas I think Kroopy is an Evanilson re-injury away from being an elite FPL option because he'll start every game. And clearly when he starts, he's brilliant. So I at least think Kroopy has the ability moving forward to become an FPL asset again. I don't think Guiu does. Doesn't your entire bench have a better game next game week? Up to whatever you think. Dubravka's got Chelsea at home. I'd rather West Ham away. Rodon's got Villa at home. I'd arguably rather Forest away, but maybe that's close. Bench-wise, it's slightly better. I think it would be probably... It probably is Richards against Wolves away. So one of my defender spots is slightly better. But it's post-international break and you just don't know they want to be fit. If I pick up one injury, all of a sudden I've then got to use another transfer to bench boost. I just think you should bench boost when all 15 of your players are fit. That's the biggest thing for a bench boost. Doesn't matter if your team have got good fixtures if one or two of them miss out. Who is the best second Arsenal defender? I mean, probably... I'd still say Timber. Is Igor Thiago good? Yeah, I like Thiago a lot. Is Gyökeres and Reinders to Bowen Enzo worth a -4 for a punt? I probably wouldn't go for Bowen, but I love Enzo. Bowen's got a great fixture. Maybe it is worth it for a short-term punt. I would be really boring and just go for like a Thiago or Welbeck, who I think are better long-term picks, but Bowen's never a bad FPL asset. Zach says, Hill to Gabriel, Kudus to Njaya, or a -4 just for Gabriel. If you're having to start Kudus and you don't have good backup, then maybe make the -4, but I think Hill to Gabriel should be the priority. Polkit says, bench 2, Rodon, Reinders, Burns, Senesi, Richards. Probably Rodon and Reinders. I think just. Start one of Esteve, Munoz, Richards if 2 Brighton attackers. Esteve, Munoz, Richards if 2 Brighton attackers. Oh, start 1. Still Munoz. Sorry, I thought you said start 2. Yeah, definitely Munoz, 100%. I would start Munoz in pretty much any game week. Even if he's got a tough fixture, Munoz is great. How much money do you have in the bank? I've got 2.7 million. Yes, this is my team, and yes, I've bench boosted. Can we please not spam the same messages in capitals? Otherwise, you will be timed out. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, I've got 2.7 in the bank, and this is my team. Yeah, future moves that I'm thinking about at the moment. Of course, we've got plenty of time. There's an international break. But yeah, one possible move is Anderson to Van Dijk. Oh, I'm on goalkeepers. All players, Virgil. Oh, that's why. So yeah, Anderson to Van Dijk is one move that I'm considering for their good fixtures coming up. The other move that I'm considering is potentially, you know, like Sarr and Njai are off to AFCON. Now, I don't want to sell Sarr until there. Njai's a difficult one because he does go into a slightly trickier fixture run now, and I love Iliman Njai, but something which I could do is Njai to Bruno. Now, I've got 0.3 in the bank to swing that, but that team then I think looks really, really nice. So that's an option. Then I could also go and get Phil Foden in that spot if I wanted to. I could, by the way, just about afford. I looked at this one. So it would be Anderson to Van Dijk. And Senesi to Gvardiol. Now, I don't know that I necessarily desperately want Gvardiol, but with their fixture coming up, I do know that I might want a City asset. So anyway, you can understand, I think, hopefully now, why I made the move that I made to get Kroupy. 2.7 million just leaves me in such a better position than if I had have gone for like a Thiago Welbeck. What is this obsession over Bruno? He is not a good FPL asset anymore. It's just mental that people keep saying that. I just don't get it. Like, 2 goals, 2 assists, and he's still one of the top scoring forwards. Midfield is massively underperformed his expected data. He missed 2 penalties, and he's still up there, still got 45 points. I think he's great. Like 8-4, 5-3. He's massively outscored Saka, who people are desperate to get. I think Bruno's a great asset. I would go Mbeumo, by the way, but Mbeumo's off to AFCON as well, right? With Cameroon. So if I'm replacing Njai with Mbeumo, I'm replacing one AFCON guy with another AFCON guy. Like, we are going to get to a point where AFCON becomes a thing. Now, if I do that in 12, like, if I do it this week, then maybe, yeah, Cunha. Maybe Cunha becomes the guy. 7.9 million as well, so a lot cheaper. His data's not been impeccable, but he's still putting up okay numbers, 0.36 XGI. His minutes have been pretty good. So I'm not making these moves this week by that. I'm just explaining what I could possibly do with the 2.7 million in the bank. Oh my goodness. My cursor, my mouse is so sensitive. There you go. Bang. You've got just under an hour till the deadline, by the way. Just under an hour. Is AFCON really a thing with the 5 free transfers? This is actually a really good point of discussion. So there are various ways that you can approach the 5 free transfers, right? So you could decide, you know what? I'm going to still have Njai, Sarr, Mbeumo. I'm going to load up on all of these AFCON guys, Salah. And I'm going to use my 5 free transfers for their intended purpose, which is to get rid... And by the way, I should explain for those that don't know. So between Game Week 15 and 16, before the Game Week 16 deadline, everyone is topped up to 5 free transfers. You're not given an extra 5 free transfers. You're topped up to 5, right? So one way that you can approach this is, as I said, load up on the AFCON guys and use the 5 free transfers to remove your AFCON guys. Do you know what I would rather do? Is I would rather remove them slowly before the 5 free transfers. And then what happens is when you get the 5 free transfers, you just keep them. So that means in Game Week 17, I've got 5. I'll use 1. In Game Week 18, I'll have 5. And then you are in a position of strength where you've got those free transfers to use on things that aren't related to AFCON. So it doesn't matter which way you approach it. There are 2 different ways you can approach it. Chris in the chat. If you're new to my streams, we have a man in the chat named Chris who just puts dog farts in every stream. And it's always at different parts of the stream and it always catches me off guard. Thank you for your message, Chris. Anyway, that's the position I think I want to be in. I would rather keep those 5 free transfers when I get them and then use them from a position of strength than have to use all 5 free transfers to get rid of guys that are off to AFCON, basically. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't think there's a correct way to play it, but yeah, that you could play it either way. How would you incorporate that if you haven't already used the wild card? I would use the wild card after the international break. 12 or 13, I think, is the best week to wild card. The latest you want a wild card is 15. But remember, if you wild card in 15, that means before your wild card into 14, you need to use all your transfers because you'll then wild card in 15 and then in 16 you'll get 5 frees. So if you're wild carding 15, you need to use loads of transfers before then. Don't carry loads of wild card transfers into the wild card. Hope that makes sense. Right, where was I? Start Anderson or Senesi. I think that's very, very, very close, but yeah, maybe Senesi is maybe slightly better if you've got an Everton attacker. I'm just about leaning Anderson, but obviously I'm on the bench boost, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think that's a pretty close one. I think realistically, I expect both to concede. So Michael says, good morning, Ross. Awesome work as always. Thank you very much. Reinders and Gyökeres out for João Pedro and Rice for a -4. Yeah, I like that. I have no issue with that. What would you do with Foden and Izzy as sell? I think if I'd kept Foden all this time, I'd be potentially tempted to just keep him now for City's good fixtures. Because in a couple of weeks, City's fixtures look unreal. And I might even be looking at Foden. So it kind of feels like you've held Foden for so long now. I'd maybe carry on holding. And his underlying data has been pretty good. You know he's done really well in obviously the Champions League too. Hey bud, I have Dubravka, Senesi, Krupi and Anderson on my bench. Yeah, that's a bench boost. I mean, it's the same bench boost as me, basically. But I've got Rodon rather than Anderson. Yeah, that's a bench boost for me. You okay, Pickle? Pickle? She's definitely got headphones in. I can hear her. I can hear her there. Tarkovsky, Senesi, Khalif. Who's Khalif? Who could that be a typo for or a shot? Khalif. Tarko, Senesi, Khalif Mbermo, Eze Semenyo, Minta, and Jai Harlemateta. Do I do Tarkovsky to Richards, Anderson and Sash Anderson and Eze to Saka, or Eze to Rice? I'd be tempted to just do Eze to Rice, potentially, or just roll. Eze is absolutely fine as well. I'm trying to think who Khalif could be. Calif. Okay. Oh, Calafiori. Thank you. Calafiori. Headphones in, listening to Andy. Probably. Should I call her? I'm going to call her. She didn't hear us do a shout out for her. I'm calling her name. Let's see what her excuse is. I'm going to tell her that we've all been really lovely to her. And got people are subscribing to it. She's not... Excuse me? With what's going on? People are saying that you've got your headphones in listening to Andy's stream. What do you mean? I mean, we've been talking about you and I've been calling you and I heard you just next to the door, but you didn't say anything. I'm not in the living room. She's not in the living room. Okay. Fine. Don't worry. Are you okay? Oh, she's gone. Are you... Fine, just don't love me in front of 3,000 people. Put on hold. No, I didn't. I want my money back, Pickle out day. She's just binned me off. Binned me off. João Pedro Walter-Marda? Neither. João Pedro? Sorry, where was I? Oh, yeah. Gyökeres, Stack, Senesi to Krupi, Sarr, Timber. Don't love selling Senesi. Do love Timber. Do love Sarr. Yeah, maybe that's a set of moves I would be happy to make. Stack Walter-Marda to Sarr, Thiago -4 or Stack to Wilson. I probably slightly prefer the -4 for Sarr and Thiago long term. Start Gay, Minter or Dewsbury Hall. Also Pope or Dubravka. Start Gay, Minter or Dewsbury Hall. Also Pope or Dubravka. I would go... Well, that's actually a tough one. I would go Pope over Dubravka. Start Gay, Minter or Dewsbury Hall. Oof. Damn, that's a really tough one. I would go... Maybe Minter, slightly. Ooh, that's a very tough one, though. That might be the toughest benching headache. Yeah, all of those are really decent. I mean, you're looking at maybe a bench boost there, right? Unless you've already used it. Heaven Cadane says, team, Raya, Senesi, Gabriel, Rodon, Semenyo, Njai, Saka and Burma, Gakpo, Haaland and João Pedro. Van de Ven on the bench. Not sure about Saka, Gakpo, JP, want Caicedo. Saka, Gakpo and JP all look good to me. You want Caicedo? Yeah, but I don't think you want to transfer out any of those midfielders. The only one that I wouldn't mind selling there is Gakpo, but he's got good fixtures coming up. I think you just leave it. Heaven. Start Burn or Senesi. That's a tough one. I'd maybe just about lean Senesi. It's very close, though. Pickle said, what's happening? Treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen. She was very mean. We were talking about you loads. I gave you a massive shout out for your channel, told them it was your birthday. Everyone was wishing you happy birthday. I've been calling you. And then I heard you open a door here. And I was like, Pickle, come on, come in. And you didn't say anything. And I said, she's probably got her headphones in. And then everyone's like, yeah, she's listening to Andy's stream. No. You've gained loads of subscribers. We gave you a massive shout. And everyone said, and said it's your birthday. And you got a birthday stream tomorrow. And then you were really mean to me. Because you just hung up on me halfway through me trying to talk to you.
What? I'm so confused.
What are you doing now? Oh, okay. I didn't know where you were.
I'm so confused.
You're so confused. Do you want to wave? You don't have to come on the camera, but you can wave.
Thank you. I'm a bit confused as to what's going on.
You can check your channel. You've gained some subscribers. Bye. How did the job interview go? I think it went well for her. Yeah, she had a little job interview yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it was okay, thank you. I'll find out soon. Thanks, guys. Sorry, I'm a bit...
Mean Pickle. Everyone's calling you mean.
Oh, no, I feel bad.
No, we're only joking. Don't feel bad.
Wow. Oh, wow, damn.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Well, you said it's my birthday tomorrow.
So it's your birthday tomorrow. You're going to do a little birthday stream maybe, and I'll be there. And I said it's your goal to hit 8,000 subs before Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, please come and watch. I mean, it's not going to be overly insightful, but...
I'll be there, so it will be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
And Chris says dog farts again for us. Thanks, Chris.
Favorite comment.
Don't lose your head. She's already lost her head. You know what she's like.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
FPL Frosty. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. And I've already seen your other comment, which is just rude. Chaos. Struggling with captaincy. Think Haaland versus Liverpool is too unpredictable, so a no for me. That's fair. Had captaincy on Gabriel all week, but my gut says Sunderland gets something. Alternative is Mateta, are Brighton leaky enough? So by your wording, right, Frosty, you're saying you don't like Haaland because he's too unpredictable, or the game versus Liverpool is too unpredictable. I think Mateta versus Brighton is very unpredictable. That could be a cagey game, or that could be 4-4. So if you want predictability, I think you go Gabriel. Like, I'm not saying that Sunderland can't score, but what I can tell you for sure is that Sunderland will not get more than 0.5 XG from open play, because no teams do at the moment. So if you want predictability, go Gabriel. For what it's worth, I don't think Gabriel is as good of a captain as a Mateta or Enzo Fernandez this week, but depends what you're after. I might switch my vice captaincy to Enzo. I think it's very close. It shouldn't... Oh, I just whistled. It shouldn't matter really too much, should it? That Haaland should hopefully play. Enzo or Paquetá? Enzo. Thank you, guys. Sorry, I was not aware of what was happening. Pickle just come in saying, I'm so confused. Eagles versus Seagulls, baby. Goalfest. Could be. What have the previous games been like? Let's have a look. Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Head to head. Right, let's bring this across. Okay. God, this site's got so many ads. What is this ad? Let me just look at the site. Okay, can I zoom in a bit more? Okay, so previous games between Brighton and Crystal Palace. It was 2-1 and 3-1 last season. Then it was... What is this wins for... Yeah, so Crystal Palace won both games last season, 2-1 and 3-1. They lost 4-1 and drew 1-1 the year before. Then 1-0, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-2, 1-1. 1-1. Lots of 1-1s. So, if you had to bet on a result, you would say a 1-1. I think I predicted 2-1, didn't I, on my predictions to Palace? So, yeah, I think like 2-1, 1-1, 3-1. Do you want me to say 1 once more? 1? 1? There you go. Anyway, just going to stop yapping. Should I sell Caicedo for Enzo? No. Caicedo's a great asset. Bench Eze or Minter? I would probably bench Minter and start Eze. Sumac says, hi Ross, already used my bench boost. I have Kudus, Thiago. Would you, 1, Kudus to Xhaka to have a 5 million playing attacker? Or 2, Thiago to Guiu to maximise the starting 11? Or 3, do both and go for a 4-4-2? I wouldn't sell Thiago. I think Thiago's a great long-term asset. I'd rather sell Kudus to Xhaka. Oh, my stream just died. Am I still live? Did that cut out? My Google Chrome just cut out completely. I think I'm still streaming. Hello. Still here. That's good. You know when you get like the Chrome error message? Oh, okay. That was weird. I haven't had that happen for a long time. Thank you for everyone for confirming. Philip Berg says, Pope, Gabriel, Timber, Senesi, Saka, Enzo, Sarsemenyo, Haaland, Watermada, Mateta. Got Soboslai on the bench. Would you put him in for someone? No. No, you've got 8 great attackers. You're going to have to bench someone good each week, sadly. 1 free transfer. Would you do Watermada to João Pedro? Play Pope or Dubravka? So I would bench Soboslai. I wouldn't make the transfer. And I would go Pope over Dubravka. Good questions, though, Philip, and thanks for the support as always. 2 free transfers and 0.1 million in the bank. Okay, bench boost potentially. Rodon/Senesi. Okay, wait, what? Kudus and Reinders. What is happening here? Vamos the egg. Thank you very much. I'm really struggling with... There are dashes, there are equal signs, there are pluses. Kudus and Reinders and Timber and Calafiori equals Sar/Caicedo plus Xhaka plus Gabriel -4. What am I looking at? Kudus and Reinders plus Timber Calafiori. I'm so sorry. Can you reply to your comment, Douche McDouchehead? Great name. Can you reply to your comment with a more simple version of this? This might be a me issue, but there are just way too many symbols and dashes in here, and I don't know what you're asking. So sorry. Just reply. Don't send another super chat because you've already super chatted. Just on your super chat, you can reply, add a comment, and then hopefully it will clarify for me. I'm so sorry. Pedro Pro to James for a -4. I wouldn't do it for a hit. I do like it for free. Unless you think James is definitely getting like double digits, I probably wouldn't risk it. Mateta or Pedro captain? I think they're both great. I'd probably just about leave Mateta. Start Caicedo or Iliman Ndiaye? I would go Ndiaye as the penalty taker. Ollie Watkins is a 3-week punt. His minutes haven't been perfect. Thomas Tuchel actually said that he's struggling with an ongoing injury issue. I don't love that pick, especially as Daniel Marlon scored the pen. I think there's a world in which Watkins has reduced minutes, and his output's not been great either. Did you reply to your message? You didn't yet, Douche McDouchehead. Okay, I'll keep looking. Make sure you do though. Caicedo versus Ndiaye is quite tough, by the way, Tony. And anyone that's got that decision, like Caicedo's got the much better fixture, but just being a penalty taker is massive, isn't it? What's up, Ross? Hope you're well. I'm well, thank you. Bench Anderson or Tarkovsky? I'd start the home player probably. I'd bench Anderson. Start Tark. Sorry if you've already spoken about this, but Mateta or Gabriel captain? I think Mateta. I've got a captaincy ranking which goes around sort of top left of my screen. There you go, it's on your screen now. So I've got Haaland, Mateta, Enzo, Saka, Bruno, Gabriel, and Burma Paquetá in that order. I think Gabriel's got one of the highest floors in FPL at the moment. Like, I think Gabriel will get at least 6 points, which is great. But also, you do need a lot to go right for him to get double digits. I know he's done it 3 of the last 5 game weeks, but I don't know if he can consistently keep that up. So I think he's got a very, very high floor. But I think on a consistent basis, maybe a slightly lower ceiling. But I think Gabriel's a great pick. He's very consistent. Like, he's averaging 11 points per game over the last 5 games. 55 points in 5 games is crazy. Captaincy poll. Yeah, why have I not done a captaincy poll yet? Let me do this now. Game week 11 captaincy. Would you still bench boost if you had Giyu over Krupi? Maybe. Like, there's not much difference between Giyu and Krupi. Krupi will get 1, Giyu will get 0, probably. Would you bench boost with the same bench as yours, but Xhaka instead of Krupi? Yeah, that's Pickle's bench, actually. And she's bench boosting. Liverpool. Who are you captaining, guys? Who should I put on this captaincy poll? Haaland? Saka and Mateta? Guys, let me know in the chat who you're captaining. Who should I put on the captaincy poll? I can only put 3 options, annoyingly. Mateta? Haaland? Is Saka the best option to put after that? João Pedro. Okay, I'll put like a João Pedro Enzo one then. I thought Saka would have been more popular. Maybe something like that. Cool. Lots of... Very, very split this week, actually, isn't it? Okay, I think that's the best way to do the captaincy poll then, like that. Apologies that I can't get everyone on. YouTube still only allow 4 options on these polls. Jim says, hi Ross, start Gakpo or Senesi. Gakpo for me. Or sell Gakpo for -4 and go for Bruno or Sarr. I would just keep Gakpo and start Gakpo. I think now that you've... like, Gakpo's a bit like Foden. If you've held Gakpo this long, the good fixtures are starting to come. I think I'll just hold on. -4 to bring Ekatike out for Mateta. I wouldn't mind doing that. I think you want Mateta. Like, again, Ekatike could do well over the upcoming fixtures, but Mateta's just great. So I'd probably do it, yeah. Hyros, Van Dijk, Senesi, or Anderson next to Gabriel and RJ? Is that next to Reece and Reece? Is that Reece James, RJ? Virgil van Dijk, Senesi, or Anderson next to Gabriel and RJ? I don't even know what that means again. I'm really struggling to understand what people mean. VVD, Senesi, or Anderson next to Gabriel and RJ? So is it Gabriel, Reece James, and Anderson, or Van Dijk and Senesi? I probably prefer the Gabriel, Reece James, Anderson, if that's even the question. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling. Oh, I've got you. You're starting Gabriel, you're starting Reece James, and you want to start one of Van Dijk, Senesi, or Anderson. I would start Anderson just about. I think I finally understand what you're asking. I'm so sorry. Your Magnificence, 5.9 for a stack replacement. Thoughts? A Minter and Caicedo, both 6 now. I'll have to remind myself. Minter, yep. Caicedo, yep. Paquetá, then. I know people don't love him as a pick, but he's on penalties, good defcon, and he's got Burnley this week. I'd go Paquetá. Hi, Ross. How are you doing? I was going to bench boost this week, but Kudus might be out injured. Should I risk it? If not, which 2 out of Mukiele, Goodmanson, Elliot Anderson would you play? Thanks, GGMU. Big love. Hopefully United get the win. And also, I don't think I would risk it with Kudus. So I think you can either sell Kudus or just start. I would bench Mukiele and start Goodmanson and Elliot Anderson, probably. Douchebag2shed says, sorry, Eggy. You don't need to apologise. It's probably my fault. 2 free transfers and 0.1 million in the bank. Sell Kudus, Reinders, Timber, or Calafiori for Sarr or Caicedo, Xhaka, Gabriel for a -4. Okay. Sarr, Caicedo, Xhaka, Gabriel. So Kudus, Reinders, Timber, or Calafiori for Sarr or Caicedo, Xhaka, Gabriel for -4. Okay, I understand. So basically, do you really... I don't... Gabriel's such a tough one if you've got Timber and Calafiori, because it's like Gabriel is better, but a transfer that involves a hit. Kudus and Reinders out. Sarr, Xhaka. I think I would do that, yeah. So Kudus, Reinders, and Calafiori for Sarr, Xhaka, Gabriel for a hit. I think I would just about. I don't think that's clear cut, because I don't love selling an Arsenal defender for a -4, but to get Gabriel in, to get rid of Kudus and Reinders, I think I would do that. And thank you for sending the extra super chat. Anantha says, hi Ross, I have Dubravka, Xhaka, Goodmanson, and Senesi in my bench. Is it worth a bench boost? Dubravka, Xhaka, Goodmanson, Senesi. Yeah, I think so. Pope, double Arsenal defence, and Juve is my defence, or should I wait for the bench boost? No, I think I'd bench boost that. You've got 3 defensive assets with an okay fixture. Xhaka is just great. Yeah. Saka in, stack out for a -4. Yeah. I mean, I can't see the rest of your team, but in isolation, that's worth it. Saka is my captain. Fair. So at the moment, the captaincy poll is 59% on Haaland, 18% on Mateta, 12% on one of João Pedro or Enzo, and 11% on other. Based on the comments, other is mainly Gabriel, and there's a couple of Sakas, Bowens, and just other assets being captained in there. But it's largely Haaland, Mateta, and then a few on Enzo and João Pedro. I love that João Pedro has gone from like being the easiest sell of the season. Like everyone was just like, how on earth do you still own João Pedro? To now being like, someone told me this week, like, you need to buy João Pedro. Just because he had one good game. I'm not saying he won't do well, by the way. Wolves and Burnley in the next 2. There was always the potential for him to do well. It's just funny that, like, how fickle us FPL managers are. I'm quite enjoying the lack of leaks this season. It's great. It's absolutely great, Frosty. Long may it continue. I hope we never get leaks ever again. I don't want leaks. It's unfair. It's an unfair advantage. And it also, there's nothing good that can come from it for me. If I get it wrong, I get abused. If I get it right, then it doesn't really help much either. Why not bench boost next game week? Because I've got 15 players this week. It's as simple as that. If I had 15 fit players next week, I might regret not going next week, but I can't promise you that I will, so I might as well just get it done. Gabriel captain viable this week, you think, or no? Yeah, perfectly viable. Perfectly viable. Is it a good transfer to bring in Delap for Walter-Marda? If you're very confident Delap starts, then sure. I still think Walter-Marda is probably a better asset than Delap, though, in the long term, so... Hi, Ross. Loving the content at the moment. Thank you very much. Enzo or Njai? I would go Enzo Fernandez. Have Wolves found their new manager yet? Could they get a new manager boost this week? I don't think so. They've still got their interim manager in charge, right? Even if they have, it's not going to have been long enough, I wouldn't imagine. So I think you're probably fine. Cool. We've got a big boy super chat. Thank you very much. Who's this from? Jishnuson. I'm just going to say Jish. Apologies for butchering your name, Jish. Hi, Ross. Big fan. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you for being here. Sold Gyökeres. Okay. Defense is Gabriel, Senesi, Richards, Keane, Anderson. Midfield is Bruno, Semenyo, Enzo, Sarr, Stack. Who to buy? Timber, Rice, and Burmo. Can't afford Saka 1 free transfer. If you've got enough money to go from Stack to Mbeumo, I love that. Otherwise, yeah, Declan Rice. You've got Enzo and Sarr already. So yeah, I would say Mbeumo then Rice would be my preference. I don't think you need to touch that defence right now. It looks pretty solid. So yeah, Rice or Mbeumo. I think that looks good. And thank you for the support. FPL Scoped says... Ross, for free, would you do Gyökeres to Mateta, Saka to Mbeumo, Gordon to Foden, and Burn to Gabriel? I don't know about Gordon to Foden. Don't know if now is the time to jump on Foden. But the rest of the moves I love. Gyökeres to Mateta, Saka to Mbeumo, Burn to Gabriel looks great. Gordon to Foden, you could do if you've got a good feeling about Gordon. I'd almost prefer Gordon to Bruno if you can afford Bruno, or just Enzo Fernandez or Sarr. Gordon to one of those midfielders and free up some money, probably. Sell Kudos for Paquetá or Njai. Love Eggman. Thank you very much. I think both are good. I would probably go Njai for long-term, Paquetá for this week. Already sold Grok? Gyökeres to Guy, Reinders to Saka or Sarr. Reinders to Saka or Sarr, either or. Saka obviously is better, but Sarr's cheaper. Do you need the money moving forward? I mean, if you think you might need the money, maybe just go Sarr. Danny says, you planned Thiago for Gyökeres before. Why Kroopy now? I realised that other than the bench boost this week where Thiago would be nice, I'm not really... I looked from now until 15 or 16. There wasn't a single week, really, that I was desperate to play Thiago. So I was literally buying Thiago instead of Kroopy just for the bench boost. And I think that having the money in the bank is more useful, so I've gone for Kroopy. Good morning, Ross. Who's the best replacement for Gyökeres? Already have Mateta and Haaland. You're probably looking at Thiago or Welbeck, or just go all the way down to a Kroopy or Guy. Or I guess you could go for like a João Pedro or Bowen if you want a short-term punt. But I think realistically, taking the money out of the third forward probably makes the most sense. Hi Ross, Gyökeres to Guiu and Reinders to Saka, or João Pedro Waltemada and Enzo instead. I have yet to play the bench boost, which is why option 1 is risky. Yeah, if you've yet to play the bench boost, maybe go for Enzo and João Pedro. Maybe just double up on the Wolves and Burnley games. Yeah, I'll probably go that way. And thank you for being a member for 47 months, by the way. I appreciate that. Hi Ross, hope you're well. Start Thiago or Senesi? Thiago, start the penalty taker. It's not like Senesi's got a great fixture. I would start the penalty taker. Salah Ahmed says, hi Ross, I have benching dilemma this week. I have Richard, Sarr, Minter, Welbeck. So which 2/3 should start? Currently playing Timber, James, Senesi in defence. I think Senesi versus Richards is really close. Sarr, Minter, Welbeck. I would start Sarr and probably Welbeck because he's on pens. So I would probably bench Minter. But I think Richards versus Senesi, you could certainly make an argument to start Richards at home. But otherwise, I think you've got it pretty spot on there. Maybe because you're going to be starting Welbeck, maybe you do start Senesi and just hope that if Brighton score, it's Welbeck. Hi, Ross. Big fan. Thank you, Carl. Triple Arsenal defence or Munoz? I love Munoz, man. I think I'd go Munoz. I'd go like Timber, Gabriel, Munoz would be like my ideal back three right now. JB says, good morning, Ross. Good morning. 2 free transfers with Lamens, Semenyo, Senesi and Weaver on the bench. Bench boost this week or use with 3 free transfers next week. I don't know that your bench will look that much better next week, will it? I suppose it will probably look marginally better. I would be tempted to just go for it. That's a decent enough looking bench. You'll get some saves from Lamens. Semenyo's great. Senesi and Weaver will get Defcon, you'd imagine. I would probably just go for it. Jason says, going Mateta cap. First in my mini league, but feeling it. Views? I love it. Trust your gut feeling. Make confident decisions with conviction and you will do well in FPL. I have no doubt. So yeah, I like it. Xhaka or Welbeck? Probably Welbeck. Caicedo or Sarr? That's a tough one. I'd just about lean Sarr, but I think there's not a lot in it. Hey bro, love the content. Thank you, Jake. Bench Van der Ven or Senesi? I would start Senesi, just about. Hutchman says, bench boost of the Bravka Rodon, Mukiele and Kroopy. So it's my bench, but rather than Senesi, you've got Mukiele. I already think mine's a bit suspect, and then you've got probably a slightly weaker player there. If you want to just get rid of it, I understand. I wouldn't hate it. It might look better for you next week, though, your bench, potentially. Oof. Ow. You might have even heard that. Ouch, my back. Oh, I'm sat at my desk for so many hours a day. That's probably not good for me. I do have a standing desk. One of these days for my stream, I'm going to stand up. I think it'll be pretty funny. My camera is attached to my desk. So technically, if I was to move my desk up, it would work. And my green screen is tall enough. Maybe I'll have a go. I'm so tempted to have a go at that now. Yeah, look, if I do this. Now just look really short. Yeah, so I mean it would work. Sorry. Wait, what am I doing? There you go. Sorry, what was it then? Good morning. I forgot where I was now. Dwarf egg. Yeah. Okay. Pat Keller's 4-5 says, playing Anderson / Njaya as well. Why aren't you playing Senesi? I'm on my bench boost. Bench boost is active. I have Bruno, Salah, Enzo. 1 free transfer left. Should I hold transfer or do Njaya to Sarr or Rodon to Richards? I would leave. I wouldn't make either of those transfers. Yeah, I think Anderson versus Senesi's close. Like, if you're not playing the bench boost and you've got Njaya and you don't have a Villa attacker, maybe just play Senesi. Like, Senesi versus Anderson, there's not a lot in it. Senesi versus Richards, there's not a lot. This is why I'm bench boosting, to be honest. Because, like, if you told me that you think Rodon or Senesi should be starting, I'd struggle to argue with you. I think they're both good assets. So this is why. Like, I've got 5 defenders that I'd like to start them all. It's normally a good indication that you could bench boost, right? So, yeah, that's the plan as of right now. What's your defensive tier list like for this week? Just Arsenal and Munoz ahead of everyone. Triple captain Haaland. Not for me. Like, Liverpool are starting to click again. I think there are better weeks to go triple captain Haaland. But I've been saying that for a while, and he just keeps returning. So, yeah. Did as you advised, now who to bench? What move did you make? What stack to Mbermo? I don't know what your forward line's like. I'd need to see your forward line as well. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sorry, I can't see your forward line, so I wouldn't know who to bench. But in terms of defensively who you bench, I think it's probably... Oh, that's tough, actually. Have you got the bench boost available, Jish? If you've got the bench boost available, I would absolutely hit that bench boost button. But I don't know. Minter, Caicedo, Senesi, bench 1. Probably Senesi. GTox89 says, -4 for Sarr and Thiago versus Watermada and Stack bench boost. Sarr and Thiago for Watermada and Stack bench boost. Don't love selling Watermada, but I do like upgrading Stack to Sarr. Maybe worth it. Maybe worth it to get Stack to a better player. Gengleberry says, hi Ross, please talk me out of Eze and Reinders to Salah and Elliot Anderson. I can't bring myself to be without Salah for a good run and need to get rid of Reinders this week. We'll talk you out of it. Salah's got Man City and he's not been performing at a great level, but I do get it. Like, if you get on Salah ahead of this run and he starts to pop off again, it's great. I'm not going to try and talk you out of it. I will just say that I do think it's 1 week early to move on Salah, but if you need to get rid of Reinders this week, moving to Salah's not bad. You're ahead of the curve. I don't hate it at all. Mihir says, hi Ross, your voice helps my hangover. Glad to hear it. I have 2 free transfers. Need help. Gyökeres to Thiago or Welbeck. Second transfer of Njaya to Mbermo. Worth it or hold for bench boost 12? I would hold. I don't think Mbermo's that much better than Njaya this week. Thiago or Welbeck? Welbeck's in better form and a slightly better underlying data, but I think Thiago is a better long-term pick. And he's cheaper. So I would lean Thiago just about, but I think it's very close. And yeah, I would hold the second transfer here. Playing Anderson and Senesi, Njaya versus Anderson is not ideal. Yeah, are you asking about me or you? I've told you I'm bench boosting, so it doesn't matter for me. I'm getting all of my players. If you're asking for you, then yeah, I would just play Senesi if you can. I don't think it matters, by the way. Like, people really get hung up on clashes. This means that if Everton score, I hope it's Njaya. And if for some reason Njaya blanks and they don't score, well, I get a clean sheet. It's not the end of the world if you have 1 or 2. Like, you cannot completely avoid clashes in FPL. I think that's my only clash, actually, in this team. Yeah, it is. I've got 1 clash out of 15 players. It's not that big of a deal at all. And I would say the same to you if you're in the same position. Start Vicario or Dubravka. I need to start... Okay, sorry. I would start Dubravka. I need to start 2 out of Burn, Van de Ven, and Senesi. I would start Burn and Senesi. That does mean, though, you're benching Vicario and Van de Ven. So maybe if you want to just spread the risk a little bit and not bench both your Spurs assets, probably start Van de Ven over Burn or something like that. Captain Rice. I'm not sure about that. You want to captain Rice, Haaland, Sarr or Rice captain, or triple captain Timber? It sounds like your mind's all over the place with it, Adam. So I certainly wouldn't triple captain if you're not even sure that you want... Like, for me, triple captain should be used when you're so confident on your captain that you want another lot of your captain. Like, that's how I view triple captaincy. And the fact that you don't know who to captain means you shouldn't triple captain. I don't mind Timber cap. I would probably say out of those options, it's Haaland, Timber, Sarr, Rice. If I was going to, like, rank them. Start Senesi, Rodon, Van Hecke, King. Well, you need to start one or two of them. I'd probably say you've got it in order, actually. Yeah, I'd say you've probably already got it in the correct order, Alex. Jahuri says, Hi Ross, real benching headaches. Semenyo, Eze, Soboslai, Enzo, Njai, Mateta, Haaland, Ekatike. Who do I bench? Also in defence, bench Senesi or Van der Ven. I'd bench Van der Ven, start Senesi. In terms of your attack, it's Soboslai or Ekatike probably, right? I'd bench one of your Liverpool assets. I'd probably bench Ekatike, because you'd imagine Soboslai gets DEFCON, he's on set pieces. Van Dijk's been monstrous in the air recently. Yeah, I'd probably bench Ekatike, but I think that's quite a close one. Exact team as you, but instead of Enzo, Chelsea asset, I've got Pedro. Okay, yeah, nice. Roll 1.1 in the bank. Yeah, if you've got a team similar to mine, but you've got Pedro instead of Enzo, I think your team looks good. I mean, I'm happy with my team this week. Famous last words, but you never know. I'd be very sad if I didn't get a green arrow this week. Not only have I got the bench boost active, but I also like my starting 11 as well. I'm finally happy with my team. Bench boost with Dubravka, Anderson / Senesi, Estev, Guy. Yeah. You're very reliant on the Burnley clean sheet, otherwise you're in a bit of trouble there. But you can get Defcon from Estev, you can get save points from Dubravka. Yeah, I would just about say yes, but remember, Guy's probably not going to get any minutes. And if he does, it'll be probably a one-pointer. TW says, Hi, Ross, struggling here. Bench Caicedo, Semenyo, Njai, Saka, or Sarr. Probably Semenyo. Probably. Can't bench Mateta or João Pedro or Haaland. Yeah, probably is Semenyo or Njai. Probably. Jish says defence is Anderson, Gabriel, Richard, Senesi, Keane. Midfield is Bruno, Mbeumo, Sarr, Enzo. Jish is perfect. Forwards are H&M, Haaland and Mateta. Who's your third forward? I don't know who your third forward is. Do you have the bench boost, Jish? This looks like a bench boost team. That's what I was asking. If you don't have the bench boost, defenders, I would probably bench Richards and Senesi. No. Yeah, Richards and Senesi I'd probably bench. And then I don't know who your third forward is. Krupi. Okay, I would bench boost that team if you have the bench boost. If you don't have the bench boost, then I think you should bench Krupi, Anderson, Richards, and then whoever your goalkeeper is. Soprano says bench boost of Tarkovsky, Rodon, Xhaka. Where have I've just lost that. Bench boost of Rodon, Xhaka, Dubravka, or Wait. Tarkovsky, Rodon, Xhaka, Dubravka, or Wait. I would play that. Yeah, I think that's a good bench boost. Bench Richards or Tarkovsky? I'd start Tark, I think. I'd start Tarkovsky. I'm top 250k and want to go risky. Who to captain, Saka or Gabriel? If you want to go risky, Saka. If you want to play it safe in terms of just a low floor and consistent points, Gabriel. I think Saka could go massive. I think Gabriel will probably get you like 6 to 8 points. If I had to guess, maybe 8. Callum Fry says bench boost with Dubravka, Rodon, Senesi, Foster, 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Yeah, I think that looks good. I mean, the only risk is Foster has been ill recently, right? So can you guarantee that Foster starts? No. But I still think I would bench boost that. It's basically the same as mine, but you've just got Foster instead of Krupi. Dalionette, thank you for the super chat as always. Hi, Ross. Hello. My team. Okay. Would you bench boost? So your bench at the moment is Dubravka, Caicedo, Juve, Senesi. I'm not going to lie, Dalionette. That is the easiest bench boost I've ever seen. Your bench, and it's a realistic bench as well, is Dubravka, Caicedo, Juve, and Senesi. I've never seen such an obvious bench boost in my life, and that's a very good bench as well. You should be on for a massive green arrow this week, you'd hope. Would you do Timber to Gabriel for a hit? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Hi, Ross. Bench boost Dubravka, Rodon, Anderson, and King. Yep, probably. Bench boost 18 for you. Dubravka versus Everton, Krupi versus Brentford after 5 free transfers. I just want to get it done. I understand like 17 could be better, 12 could be better. It doesn't matter. Like if I gain an extra 4 points in those weeks, you just need to get lucky. This could be a terrible bench, but Dubravka scams an 11 point. I'm happy. Or Senesi, it bounces off the back of his head and goes in the net. Like FPL is a luck-based game, but bench boost in particular, you've just got to get fortunate. And I think the first thing that you need to think about with bench boost is, are my players fit? And if I'm looking at my team now, obviously one of them could miss out. I've got no flags, apart from Sar's hamstring tightness, no issues that I know of. All 15 players I think should play. And I think that's all you can really ask for on a bench boost. Right? Enzo and Petrovic or Minter and Pope? Probably Enzo and Petrovic. Josh says, hi Ross. Hello Josh. Would you bench boost in 11? King, Senesi, Rodon, Dubravka, or 12, King, Waltemada, Rodon, Dubravka? It's very close. I think as long as, again, all 15 of your players are fit now, Josh, I'd go now. 12 might end up being better, but what happens if you pick up 2 injuries over the international break? All of a sudden, you can't bench boost unless you make a couple of transfers. So I would just get it done. Sanchez or Dubravka? Cheers, mate. 100% Sanchez, Fraser. Start Gvardiol or Van der Ven? Ooh, that's a tougher one. Probably Gvardiol still. Kier says, would you do JP and Gordon out for Mateta and Soboslai? No. Or just bench Gordon and play 4 at the back with Senesi and roll? I would do that. Yeah, play 4 at the back. I wouldn't sell JP. Yeah, play 4 at the back and roll. Or just sell Gordon straight for another midfielder is another option. How much do you have in the bank? I've got 2.7 million in the bank. That's my team at the moment. Start Reinders or Rodon? I'd probably start Rodon. Sanchez or Pope? Sanchez. Would you start Pope or Dubravka? I mean, I've got Pope and Dubravka. I know I'm on a bench boost, so it doesn't really count. But for what it's worth, if I were to cancel the bench boost, I'd start Pope still. Ross, I'm stressing. Haaland or Mateta captain? If you're stressing between a 50-50, I would honestly just... This isn't the correct way to do it, but this is the way that I make decisions. What would annoy you more? If you captained Mateta and Haaland hauled, or you captain Haaland and Mateta hauled? Which one would annoy you more? For me, what would annoy me more is if I decided to try and get clever, go against Haaland and he hauled, and I was just like, why did I get clever with it? So, for me, that's why I'm leaning that way. Why is no one talking about Marino? Because he's such a short-term punt. Havertz is back soon. Madueke's back soon. Erdegaard's back soon. Gyökeres is back soon. Martinelli's back soon. Like, Marino's just not going to... And even if Gyökeres and Havertz weren't back, you can play Trossard as the false 9. Like, Marino's just not going to play consistent minutes. So, he's a good pick for this week, but beyond that, I just don't see it. 3 free transfers. Salah, Reinders, DCL to Mbermo, Bruno, Mateta. Salah, Reinders, DCL to Mbermo, Bruno, Mateta. Oh, I don't know if I'd sell Salah now. It's such an upgrade to your team, though. I would get it done, but selling Salah now is like the worst time that you could have sold Salah, James, because he's about to go on his best fixture run and he's starting to score goals again. I would do it because with 3 free transfers, Mbermo, Bruno, and Mateta are just better than Salah, Reinders, DCL, but it's a bad time to lose Salah, I would say. Hi, Ross. Best 5.6 replacement for Reinders. You're probably going all the way down to Xhaka or Anderson. Probably Elliot Anderson. That was my thoughts too. Thanks. No worries, Josh. Bench 1 of Minter, Sarr, Richards. Probably Richards. Probably Richards, Abdul. The Moon Kitty. Hello, Captain Raptor. Hello. Thank you for the very generous super chat, by the way. That's too kind. Long time. It's been a little while. Yeah, it's been at least a few weeks, I think. Need advice. Team. Vicario, Gabriel, Timber, Senesi, Munoz, Tarkovsky. Great defense. Fantastic defense. Semenyo, Enzo, Caicedo, Njai, Grealish, João Pedro, Waltemada, Haaland. Brilliant team. 2 free transfers. Think Grealish to Rice, Tarkovsky to Gabriel. I would agree with both of those. Yeah, triple up on your Arsenal. I don't think Everton assets are bad, but certainly not an awful time to lose them. No idea on FT versus bench, or if I should bench boost. Okay, could you bench boost that? Sorry, can you do both of those moves? I assume you can do, yeah, you can do both of those moves. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I'd get both moves done. Would I bench boost that team? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd make both transfers and bench boost Moon Kitty. I think that's a really nice team. 100%, yeah, really nice. We've got Dubravka, Anderson, Goodmanson, Van der Ven, bench boost. Yeah, I would say so, Finn. I think so. JP replacement, Thiago long term. I mean, I wouldn't sell JP this week, but long term, Thiago is a good replacement for João Pedro, yeah. But I wouldn't do that this week. Jack Ryan says, hey Ross, long time watcher, first time chat. Thank you very much, Jack. Playing free hit this week, very nice. Sanchez, Munoz, Gabriel, James. Love that defense, wow. Sarr, Enzo, Saka, Mbermo, Haaland, Mateta, Bowen. Unbelievable team. Could I change anything about that? Not really. Yeah, I don't think I mean, I'm not sure that I would go for Sarr. I wonder if I would do something like, I don't know, Paquetá instead of... that's the only position I could maybe say that I would go different. But it's a really nice team, Jack. Yeah, I think you should get a big green arrow this week. Why own Saka if you don't captain him on Pens versus Sunderland? Sunderland are a really decent defence. And Haaland is also on Pens against Liverpool at home. If it was Sunderland at home, I'd feel a bit better. But Sunderland away, I'm not sure. Hi, Ross. Loving the stream as always. Would you bench boost Dubravka, Senesi, Van der Ven, Sarr? Thank you very much, Quizmaster Ben. And yes, I would bench boost that. Todd says, -4 for Gyökeres to Guiu, Reinders... Sorry, Gyökeres to Guiu and Reinders to Saka /Enzo/Sarr. Yes, I would go Saka if you can afford it. Gabriel, Van der Ven, Senesi, Anderson, who to bench? I would probably say Van der Ven just there. Agni Bagosh says, hi Ross, hello, my 11. Okay, I've got your 11. Is it worth playing the bench boost? If not, Senesi versus Anderson. So your bench is Dubravka, Reinders, Anderson, Rodon. Yeah, I'd bench boost. I'd bench boost that comfortably. Bench boost buddies, up the tune, enjoy being on me. I don't know why I read up the tune, but yeah, sure. As long as Pope gets a clean sheet, then we can be up the tune. Very, very nice. Yeah, bench boost is hopefully going to go well. Fingers crossed, Andrew. And thank you very much for the super chat. It's very kind of you. Which two to bench out of Anderson, Senesi, Burn? I'd probably bench Burn. Away from home, Newcastle aren't quite as strong. Bench boost of Dubravka, Virgil, Gravenberch, Mark Guiu. So probably a 0 from Guiu or a 1. Virgil and Gravenberch at City. I probably wouldn't. I think your bench will look better in future weeks, Fraser. Here for FPL says, mate, final decision. Start two of Richards, Senesi, and Chow. Chow's been really decent in the air. Richards, Senesi. I'd probably bench Chow just, but that's very close. Flip a coin. Get the wheel out. Ask the wheel to make your decision for you. I would struggle to decide there. I think all three are fantastic. I'm sorry, that's not a great answer. 90% debating Timber captain over Haaland, Mateta, Pedro. Make it 100%. Make it 100%. Go for it. I like it a lot. Are you bench boosting? Yeah. Bench boost is active. I was just actually refreshing on another page to make sure, definitely. If you are activating the bench boost, just make sure that you have. It should have a little blue line around it like this. And if you scroll up, it will say bench boost active there as well. Also, make sure you haven't accidentally activated the bench boost. It happens. Is Munoz really worth it over Gay? Yeah, long term. I know Gay's been ridiculous, but I just don't see it carrying on at this rate. Hi, Ross. Beard is looking great today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Nothing different, but thank you. Just butter me up before you ask my question. Bench boost of Dubravka, Van der Ven, Reinders, and Paulinho. Interesting. Paulinho, Defcon. Dubravka, decent. Van der Ven, decent. Ryan. I don't mind that, actually, Fraser. I mean, make sure that it doesn't look much better in future weeks. But again, if you've got 15 players fit, just maybe go for it. Yeah, it's not a bad bench at all. Some differential options on there. Start Van der Ven or Rodon. I would go Rodon. And Gyökeres out for who? Got Haaland and Mateta. I would go Gyökeres all the way down. That's what I did to Krupi. But if not, I think Thiago and Welbeck stand out as the two best value forwards. What do you think about Marino on free hit? I like Marino on free hit. Yeah, I've got no issue with that. I don't love him as much as a transfer, but... Triple captain Haaland is he's in great form. I think there are better fixtures, really. Do you think Krupi will start? No, I don't. No, I think Evan Nilsson comes back into the starting 11. But Krupi will get minutes off the bench. And there wasn't necessarily anyone that I fancied that much for this week. Like, I'm not saying Thiago and Welbeck won't score this week, but I don't think they're hugely a massive upgrade. And then moving forward again, I'd rather have Krupi. You have got just over 5 minutes till the deadline. Make sure that you're starting to lock in your teams. Don't wait too long. It's always a big risk if you wait too long. Mbeumo captain. Don't hate it. He's definitely in the top 10 options for me. Yeah, I don't have a huge issue with that. Kudos to Mbeumo. I like it. All aboard the Mbeumo train. I was very close to buying in myself. Rice or Enzo? I just about prefer Enzo, but it's close. Bowen hate. There's no Bowen hate for me. I think Bowen's a great player and a great asset, but just he's playing in a weak West Ham team, so he's struggling to get a lot of opportunities. The Moon Kitty activated my bench boost and made the changes. Fingers crossed for now. Hope you have a great week and a great weekend as well. Fingers crossed both of us get a big green arrow on the bench boost. Would you captain Saka over Haaland, Ross? I mean, no, I wouldn't. I've not even got Saka as my vice. For me, I prefer Enzo and Mateta to Saka. That's not to say Saka's bad. And if Saka goes big this week, there will be no one happier than me that he finally gets me some points. But he's just been a bit inconsistent and his output hasn't quite been there. So, and I think Sunderland are a really good defence. We have to remember that this Sunderland aren't, it's not like a, and even against Burnley last week, by the way, didn't return, but Sunderland aren't a team that will just roll over. Xhaka or Senesi to start? That's a really close one. I'd probably lean Senesi, but I don't think there's much in that. Is it crazy to make Rice or Bruno Fernandes the cap over Haaland? No? If you enjoy it? If you enjoy the risk? Enjoyed using FootMob instead of other apps as of recent. Seems much more reliable. FootMob's the GOAT, man. It's such a good app. It's like unbelievably good. Yeah, I love FootMob. Avid says Xhaka or Krupi. I'd go Xhaka. I don't think Krupi starts, mate. I've got bench boost Krupi because I just wanted to get a dead asset in there at a cheap price. But I don't think Krupi starts. Ekatike or that Tarkovsky bench. Just feel like this is the last chance saloon for Ekatike before Isak comes back in. I mean, I would start Tarkovsky, but I think Ekatike is also fine to start. Yeah. Xhaka to Enzo for free. I'd be happy to do that. I do think Xhaka's great, by the way, but if you can get Enzo in there, he's fantastic, you know? DCL to start or transfer to Krupi? I don't think either of them probably start, but I'd probably just keep DCL in all fairness. Start Grealish or Walter Marder? That's close. I would probably go Walter Marder, though, for the pens. Start Krupi or Thiago? Don't start Krupi unless you really have to. Krupi, I don't think Krupi starts. So I think only start Krupi or bench boost with Krupi if you've got no other real option or you're just happy to accept that it'll probably be 1 point. By the way, it's not like a lot of other forwards don't blank on a regular basis. Just because Krupi gets 1. Lots of my forwards this season have got 1 or 2 points as well. But yeah, I just don't think there's a particularly high chance of him starting. I think Evan Nilsson is a favourite of Areola. He loves Evan Nilsson and he's back fit now, so... Rodon or Senesi is really tough. All week I've been thinking about this. It doesn't matter because I'm bench boosting, but I think that's very close. Very, very close. Start Rodon or Anderson? I would go Anderson, just about. But again, very close. Is it worth getting Bruno out for Mbeumo? No, not for me. You've got 2 minutes until the deadline. 2 minutes until the deadline. Senesi or Burn to start? Burn just doesn't get DEFCON. Yeah, I'd maybe go Senesi for that reason. And I think centre-backs against Aston Villa, I think, get a good amount of DEFCON as well. So, yeah, Senesi's probably slightly better than Burn. I don't think there's much in it, though. Like, you could certainly make an argument to start Senesi in my team, but it's very close. I've had Senesi on the bench all week, but again, it only matters if you care about having a realistic bench. Because I should be getting, hopefully, all of my players, you know? Gay or Senesi to start? I'd go Gay. He's playing so well. You've got just over a minute till the deadline. Get your teams locked in. If you're not subscribed, by the way, I've not asked you at any point, please subscribe. Make sure to drop a like on the stream as well, but importantly, make sure to subscribe. People are getting so upset that I'm not starting Senesi when I'm on the bench boost, so it doesn't matter. People are really panicking. Semenyo or Sarr? Probably Sarr because he's playing at home. Any team leaks for Spurs? I've seen nothing on Spurs or Manchester United, sadly. You've got just over 30 seconds until the deadline. By the time you hear my voice, make sure you lock your teams in. I'm going to do one final check on my team as well. Bench boost is definitely active. Captain is on Haaland. Everything is looking good. We're happy. Gyökeres and Burn to Gabriel and Bowen. Yeah, probably. Probably yes. Porro or Senesi bench. I'd probably start Senesi. Gabriel captain again. He's very slept on. Yeah, fair. I don't mind Gabriel cap. Timber captain. Also don't mind. Like, captaincy's up in the air this week. If you want to go somewhere different, you've got 5 seconds. By the time you hear my voice, we are probably locked in. What is your expected overall finish at the end of the season? Top 50k. Still the aim. I've started badly pretty much every season since I've been on YouTube. I can't seem to nail a good start together. It's just so up. I just find it very difficult to work out what's going on. And then once it settles down a bit, I then come into my own. And also chip season. When we start to move on to chip season, I think I should gain a little bit as well. So I'm feeling okay. Right. There we go. Let me tweet my team. Right. Twitter. Copy. Post. No, I accidentally did SAR cap. It's not the end of the world. He could do well. Right. Did you bench boost this week? Yeah. What's your Twitter? At FPL __ Raptor. There. Oh, my keyboard's died. Nope. What am I doing? Hello. Copy. Paste. There you go, if you want to see my Twitter. No, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because I've got a Mac, when I copy something on my laptop, it copies it on my phone. I'm trying to copy from my phone, not my laptop. How's Birmingham treating you, Ross? It's fine. I'm sure it's not the most beautiful place on earth, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Yo, Ross, duel me right now, GeoGuessr. Maybe at some point after the deadline I will do GeoGuessr duel. Should I try and stand up? I wanted to see how bad this would be if I tried to stand up on my stream. Should we have a look? I'm going to move... Bye. Oh, bye. Bye, guys. This is funny. Wait, my Crocs are in the way. Move out of the way. I can't move my chair. This is funny. Hello, guys. I'm stood up. Look. This is fun. I need to move the camera a little bit. Can't even tell. This is fun. This feels so weird to be stood up. I feel like I should anyway. I've got a standing desk that I use occasionally, but I've never used for streaming. I could stream stood up. This is probably better for me, isn't it? Are we having a work stand-up? Ross, where is FPL therapy? I've made a few posts about it. People keep asking, but I don't know how much to post about it. Basically, it takes a lot of time and money, and I don't have the time or money at the moment to investing in it. Especially time is the issue. It takes so much time to do FPL therapy, you wouldn't believe. It's like 20 hours per episode, probably altogether. So I've just had to put it on pause for now. Why do you like Enzo? I think he's great, to be honest. So, guys, in 12 minutes, we're going to get the lineups. But also in 12 minutes, on my GeoRaptor channel, there's going to be a GeoGuessr video going live. So in 12 minutes, when I end the stream, once we get the lineups, I'd like you to go and watch that video. It'd mean a lot to me. Also, let's talk about club. Because I need to sort out my club. I'll be honest. So let me put that there. Let me do this. And we're going to meet with Manny, as we always do, and see who we can get. So, if you don't know what club is, where have you been? I was going to break into song. That's the where have you been TikTok that is everywhere. Basically, it's a free-to-play fantasy football game. Here, you can see my team. Oh, I'm over my salary cap. Because I got Gravenberch. Should I just bin off Gravenberch? Should I sell Gravenberch or Eze? Anyway, it's free to play fantasy football where you basically upgrade your facilities and because I'm stood up, I just want to move a lot. You upgrade your facilities and you upgrade your team, and it's just such a more enjoyable fantasy football game than FPL. I'll be honest. It's just, I love it. So, I think I need to sell. Anyway, let's meet with Manny. So, what we can do. Who am I upgrading? I'm upgrading myself at the moment. I need to, my transfer department. I need to get, what could I do with? I mean, my team's pretty stacked. I think I'm looking okay anyway, but all I need you to do is let me know who you think I'm going to get from Manny. So this can be any player. Pepe has said, well, you're getting Weaver. I think I'm going to get, so this can be any player in the Premier League. Just name any player in the Premier League. Yeah, that was me. I'm in the game. Pretty cool, right? Rodon, Murphy. I reckon I'm going to get... Who am I feeling? Ballard. Don't know why. Ballard. Base. Core. Rare. It's not going to be Ballard then, I don't think. Rare midfielder. If you named a midfielder, you're looking good. Leeds. 80. Tanaka. Did anyone guess Tanaka? Probably not. No, I don't think anyone did. Tanaka. Not great. Don't need Tanaka. I think I'm going to have to release Gravenberch, sadly, because I need to make sure I'm within my salary cap, which I am now, exactly. Okay, this is my team then. We're looking good. Let me renew my contract, actually, on João Pedro. And let me renew my contract on Bruno G, so it looks pretty. There we go. I'd quite like to start Zubamendi, but I don't know who I'd start Zubamendi instead of. Anyway, if you want to check out Club, there is a link down below. It's completely free. A lot of people that are looking at signing up are always like, but it's midway through the season. You obviously do have season-long scores in a lot of the leagues, but it's weekly leagues against a few other teams. So if you join now, you'll be matched up against other people that are joining now. So you're not going to match up against crazy teams, and it doesn't negatively affect you starting midway through the season. So definitely do it. My league code will also be down below. We're almost at 3,000 people in my league, by the way. In Game Week 10, Mansfield Town FC won. So far across the season, we've got Muncassen and Blanny Rovers as the top couple. But yeah, I am. Where am I in my own league? Really low down. I'm having a stinker. I'll be honest. But yeah, if you want to check out Club, please do. Right, where was I? Bang. GeoGuessr, please. There's a GeoGuessr video going live in 8 minutes. You could just go watch that. I'd really appreciate that on my new channel if you want more GeoGuessr. It's a good episode as well. I'll tell you that much for free. Yeah, there'll be one out at 11:15, literally in 8 minutes. So I'm going to check the lineups for the Man United Spurs game, and then I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll leave you to watch that game. I just had an aneurysm, went into the deadline time wanting to bench boost, and ended up wildcarding. Oh dear. It's never a great one when you change last minute. Look at me stood up.
What was I stood?
I am stood up. Do you know what would be funny? You stood up because you would be here.
Everything looks so high. Oh, it's hot in here.
You would not be on camera, particularly. It'd just be the top things. Look how small you are. There we go. You make me look like I'm really tall, when in reality I'm not. But you're just tiny.
I'm looking a bit bummy, sorry.
A bit bummy.
Not looking my best, guys. Oh my god, it's so hot. Wow. Goodbye.
What, in here?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Have you got the windows open out there then? It doesn't feel that hot in here.
I need to empty this.
What bollard would you be and why? Pickle would be the Vietnamese bollard.
Well, what's...
It's short and square.
Oh,
that's my leg.
That's so true, though.
No, they're quite short and stout.
Short and stout.
Here is my spout.
Oh my god, I need to take off my hoodie. That's just...
Bye. What's for dinner, Ross? What's for dinner, Pickle?
I don't know. You should be cooking for me.
Should I?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been working all morning. What have you been doing?
I've been cleaning, actually.
Oh, okay.
Ross, you've got me into GeoGuessr. I have more sympathy watching you. It's so much harder to spot things when you're playing yourself. I know. The pressure gets to you. Especially when you're recording. Short and stout, you're in the doghouse.
To be honest, it's true.
You're just little. Very little. Nah, joking. I'm just like 6'6". I feel so weird stood up. I'm really moving a lot.
It's the ADHD.
It is the ADHD. Yeah, you're seeing how bad my ADHD is now. When I sat down, I can't be as fidgety. Review a movie, or just live. What happened with the therapy channel? Just too busy, sadly. So to give you a perspective of money and time, it's about 20 hours a week, and I won't give you an exact price, but at least £400 in terms of travel and studio costs per week. I don't have either at the moment, especially time. 20 hours a week is it's so much time. Because all day Sunday, I have to watch the games and prepare the script. I then have to organise a guest. I then have to travel from Birmingham to London, which takes a few hours each way. I'm then recording for a couple of hours. I then have to edit my therapy episodes myself. I then have to send my editor, which is my sister, that does the subtitles, the short form. Sometimes it can be over 25 hours a week just for one episode of therapy, which I love doing, but gets half the views that my videos on FPL Raptor does. It's just so much money and time. It's a great concept, and so many people love it, but it's just... What country is this, Ross? Oh, damn. No, I know this one.
I want to guess, but I'm going to embarrass myself because I'm terrible at flags.
Oh my god, it's in the centre of Africa, maybe East Africa.
Is it a country beginning with G?
Don't think so.
Oh, I honestly have no idea. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ethiopia. Okay. Yeah, I could see it in the... I've been learning the African flags recently. Give me another African flag and I'll hopefully know it. It was so small that I was like...
I didn't realise it had a symbol in the middle.
Yeah. It's not Eritrea, is it? Maybe it is. Maybe that is the Eritrea one. I don't think it is. That looks nothing like the Eritrea flag, I don't think. No, it's not the Eritrea flag. It is the Ethiopia one, I'm almost certain.
What does the Gambia flag look like, out of curiosity? That was my random guess. Oh yeah, it looks nothing like it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very uneducated.
That looks like... Is that the Angola flag or the Libya?
I actually know what the flag is, but yeah.
That's Angola or Libya, Dave. I can't remember. They've both got black in. That is Comoros, I think, Franciso. Is that the Comoros flag or is that the Madagascar flag? Maybe neither. Maybe no. Oh, there's too many flags. I give up. Fun with flags. Yeah, no, I'm cool. In my spare time, I don't just sit there learning flags. What is that flag, Ross? It's a Malaysia flag, isn't it? Kenya, we've got. That is the...
Oh, I know what that flag is.
That's that Cape Verde flag? No. Is it Cape Verde? No. What's that one? You said you know what it is. You lied, didn't you?
No, I'm not telling you.
You don't know.
No, I do.
The Seychelles flag is beautiful. Are you cheating? Who is that girl in the back? It's my girl. That's my girl. She's just stood here being really autistic in the corner. Do you want to come on screen?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Thank you. Because I don't look very nice.
Any big birthday plans with Pickle? We're going out with her dad and brother for dinner tomorrow.
We did something nice midweek.
Yeah, I planned a surprise event with her friends midweek, which was fun. What's the GeoGuessr account? In 2 minutes, I will send you the video. But this is the account. But yeah, in 2 minutes, I've got a new video going live. And I'd so much love, all of you to go watch it. Even if you put it on in the background and don't watch it, it will help me. Can I tell you what not to do, though? Don't click on the video and click off. That really doesn't help me. But if you can click on the video and just leave it on.
Someone's laughing at you calling me autistic. It's not very nice.
Stood here being, she is very autistic, bless her.
I actually am, so I'm not offended, don't worry.
No, yeah, that's not an insult. That's just a factual statement.
Well, it's kind of an insult.
No, I'm not using it as a derogatory thing. You're just very autistic.
Oh, thanks. Shout out. Autistic people.
Hello, my old neighbour. Big love, my friend. Sending love. I do miss Knots.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah. The best neighbour in the world. Can't you send all live stream viewers as a raid to a video? I don't know how that works. I think you have to set it up beforehand, but my video obviously wasn't live beforehand. What I'll do is I'll just spam the video loads of times in the chat, and then I'd love for you to go watch it. Ross, when is your birthday? The 29th of March.
He was a prem baby. He was due in May.
Yeah, I was due in the middle of May. I think I was 6 weeks early. So I was a prem baby, but I was still quite big for a prem baby.
And I was 1 week late.
Because my mum is little, so she couldn't wait much longer. Right, Spurs was the main lineup, wasn't it, that people wanted rather than Man United? Man United should be fairly straightforward. I'll be interested to see if Sesko starts again. My man, your team up first. Ever thought of doing a watch along? The issue is I watch on Now TV, which is like streamed. I don't even think Now TV. I don't even have access to TNT Sports. But also, because I'm not watching on TV, I'd be delayed. So the chat would just ruin the stuff for me. What's the difference between Tasmania and Tanzania? Don't be rude. Can't believe in that video I kept saying Tanzania and it was Tasmania. I love nothing more than when teams don't tweet their team on time.
I have one job.
One job. I mean, it's not even 16 yet, but I mean, come on. Why is it not scheduled to just go out? Cool. I'll look at Man United in the meantime. I'm sure my team have been on time. My team would never be delayed. There we go. Lamans Mazraoui. Good to see him. Delict, Maguire, Dorgu.
Sesko benched again.
Sesko bench. This is why I didn't buy Sesko. This was my concern. Have we... Wait a second. No. Yes. That's Ahmad on the wing.
Ooh.
Ahmad and Bermo Cunha as the front three. Very nice.
Why do so many people have your birthday?
This is
Seems
what...
like such a rare birthday to me. Although my granddad had your birthday.
Right, and Spur... Oh, there. Just click on that. That's all right, lads. But don't want your team anyway. Sweet. Where Georaptor? Where Spurs team? Why? You've got one job. Imagine your job is to be the admin of a social account and you just forget to post the team.
Imagine they still don't know, so they're just like scrambling. Like, what do we do?
Like, what is wrong with them?
Shambles.
Anyway, that video should be live now. Is
So
it?
you scheduled it for after this?
Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Ross and welcome back
guys,
to another episode of the Road
There is a
to
new
Master
Georaptor
Division.
video
And
live.
welcome
I
back
do not mind
to
at
Gold
all
1, where we actually
if you
had
go and
a
just bin off
really
this
good
stream and watch
start
this.
with 7 games played and 5 wins. But something which I
waiting for
didn't
the Spurs
anticipate
team.
is just
Here we
how
go.
competitive Gold 1 was going to be. Because I'm recording this on Friday night with
Everyone
obviously a
starts.
couple of days
No,
left
Kudos not in
of
the
the
squad.
week.
Kudos not
with
in the
the
squad,
opportunity to
everyone
get
else promoted.
promoted. And as of right now, you'd need 13 wins at least.
Yeah, no
And when
kudos.
there's
If
someone
you
with
needed kudos,
17
I'm
games
sorry.
played
Van
and
der
12
Ven's
wins,
there,
you're looking
Romero's
at
there,
maybe
Porro's
needing
there, Javi
14
Simmons
wins,
is there.
and that wouldn't even guarantee
hear it.
that you manage. Oh, so sorry.
Oops.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. It was on in the background. I didn't realise. I'm so sorry. Anyway, it was me. I'm so sorry.
I bet that was so overstimulating.
I know.
I bet like 10 million people have.
It was this. I left it on as a tab in the background because I've not got sound on my computer. I didn't know it was playing. So sorry. Please forgive me. Anyway, if you want to go watch that video,
They probably
please
don't
do.
after
They
that.
probably don't. I've just ruined it. I've just ruined everything. It was this video that was playing in the background. Oh, I'll stop it.
You are a shouty man.
It's
aren't
me. A shouty man. Why are my things not working as well?
You don't even understand that reference, but it's probably because I'm a child.
We're hearing 2 sounds right. So it was a good episode. It's only 36 minutes. Plenty of time to watch it before the football. Please do. It would mean a lot to me. It's a new channel. Please go subscribe as well. We're so close to 3K. And I would love nothing more than to hit it. Go hit that like button. Go comment. Go subscribe. Go blow up this. Make this like. There's only 7 people who've liked it, guys. Only 7 of you have liked it. How many people are watching? There's 1,500 people watching. I'd really appreciate it. No, Kudus isn't in the squad. And Man United's lineup was about as you'd expect, but no Sesko, which is why I didn't buy him, because I said there is a concern in these kind of games. Anyway, please go watch the video. I'll spam it a couple more times. I appreciate you being here in the stream. You have been absolutely amazing. Until next time, thank you very much. Bye-bye, guys.